The following programs were originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity, and they were recorded using a variety of means, from direct recording onto early audio tape and glass records, to simply placing the microphone of a wire recorder in front of the speakers of a radio playing the program. I hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to these, some of the all-time favorite shows.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Next guest will give you the laughs, just don't ask him to lend you money. It's Jack Benny coming up next.
The Jack Benny Program. Quality of product is essential to continuing success. LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Sure thing. That's right. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed. So free and easy on the draw. Yes, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed. So free and easy on the draw.
Sold American.
Independent tobacco experts know who buys what tobacco. Mr. Ed L. Isaacs, independent tobacco expert and warehouseman of Lebanon, Kentucky, said,
I smoke Luckies for the same reason that so many other tobacco men smoke them. Simply because I have seen Luckies buy fine tobacco. And I've smoked Luckies for 13 years.
In a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. And Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
Hello, National Broadcasting Company.
Say, operator, can you tell me what's on the air at 4 o'clock today?
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny.
Who?
Jack Benny. Gee, Mabel, that's the 6th one today. Well, I'm still ahead. I've got 8. Oh, you're always lucky. You won last year, too. Yeah, Mr. Benny ought to know better than open his program during the hunting season. Yeah. National Broadcasting Company.
Say, operator, can you tell me what's on the air at 4 o'clock today?
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny.
Who?
Jack Benny. Hey, Mabel. What? This one must have used a knife. Yeah, I'll be glad when today is over so I can go home and take off this black dress. Yeah. And it's so hard to talk through this veil. Yeah. Hey, Mabel, look at the switchboard. Jack Benny's dressing room is cooling. Shall I take it, go to it, or do you want to get it? What's the difference? He's not going to kill himself anyway. Yeah, them that should won't. Yeah. Yes, sir?
Operator, this is Jack Benny. Operator, with a change of time today, I'd like to check my watch. What time is it, please?
It's 20 minutes to 3.
20 minutes to 3? That's funny. I've got 20 minutes to 4.
Well, hold on. Mabel, what time have you got? 20 minutes to 5. Magee. No, Gertrude. You moved your watch back an hour and you're supposed to move it ahead. Gee, I do dumb. I'm not as dumb as Mr. Benny. He didn't move it at all.
Operator, I heard that, and I'm going to report you.
Gertrude thinks she's smart. What a telephone operator. She's a lousy dancer, too. Well, I better hurry and get ready. After all, it's 20 minutes to something. It's all Rochester's fault. I told him to time change at 2 o'clock in the morning to set all the clocks in the house and my watch, too. Anyway, I better get ready. I wish NBC would give me a better dressing room. This tile floor is so cold on my bare feet. Now, let's see. Where did I put my... Oh, so you finally got here.
Oh, boss!
Rochester, you know this is my first program. I'm nervous and excited. Why do you have to be late?
Wait, I got 20 minutes to 2.
Well, no wonder our watches are all mixed up, and it's your fault.
My fault?
Yeah, what were you supposed to do at 2 o'clock this morning?
At 2 o'clock this morning? Oh, I did that, boss.
You did what?
I tiptoed into your room and put a hot water bottle on your feet.
Is that all you did?
Well, I must confess, boss, I tickled your toes a little.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, and when I saw the way you had your arms around that pillow, I figured you were expecting something.
Rochester, I always sleep with my arms around the pillow.
I know, but last night you looked at it and said, don't you think 2 can live as cheap as 1?
I said that to the pillow?
Yeah, then I waited 3 minutes, and when it didn't answer, I walked out.
Oh, darn, I do the silliest things in my sleep. Imagine talking to a pillow. Rochester, why didn't you wake me up?
I hated to cut in, boss. You were dancing.
Well, I just had one of those nightmares. I'm always nervous before an opening broadcast. Gee, I hope the rest of the gang is here. By the way, Rochester, did you call Mr. Harris like I told you to?
Yes, boss, but they said he hasn't been home for 2 weeks, and they gave me this number.
Okay, I'll call it. Probably Phil's office. I bet he's been knocking himself out for the last 2 weeks making special musical arrangements.
Joe's pool room.
Joe's pool room?
Snooker games arranged for schnooks.
What?
Radar cuspidors you can't miss.
Look, will you please let me talk to Phil Harris?
I don't know nobody here by that name. What does he do?
He's an orchestra leader. It says in his contract.
Oh, him.
Yes, him. Tell him his boss wants to talk to him.
Okay. Hey, Goldilocks, Kay Kaiser's on the phone.
Kay Kaiser?
How do you like that? And right in the middle of a game. Hold everything. Hello, Casey.
Phil, this is Jaxie.
Who?
Jack Benny.
Oh, hiya, Jackson. What's up?
What's up? We go on the air in 15 minutes. You're in a pool room. Why aren't you here at the studio?
I can't be in 2 places at the same time.
Of course not.
If I could, I'd be at the racetrack, too.
I suppose I attend a business hanging around pool hall. You should be rehearsing your orchestra. Now, Phil, you better have a good band number for our opening program.
Don't worry about the music, Bub. I got a brand new tune I'm going to play called That's What I Like About the North.
The North?
Yeah, 5,000 arrangers in the country, and I had to hire a Yankee.
Well, I'm glad you got something new. Now, Phil, you know how nervous I am, so get over here, will you?
Sure, Jackson. I'll be over as soon as I finish this game.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, Mom, it's your shot.
Rochester, I got to go across the stage to Miss Livingston's dressing room. I'll see you later. Da-da-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum, da-dee, da-dee-da-da-dum, da-dum. Oh, hello, Gildersleeve.
Hello, Jack. Come on, Leroy.
Da-dum, dum-dee-da-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum. That Leroy. I bet he's Gildersleeve's father. Da-da-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-dum, da-dum. Oh, hello, Larry.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, are you nervous, kid?
Oh, a little bit, but I'll be all right when I get into my song.
Sure you will. Oh, by the way, Larry, I forgot all about it. Congratulations. You got married, didn't you?
Yes, Mr. Benny, about 2 weeks ago.
Well, I hope you'll be very happy. Where did you meet the pillow? I mean, the girl. Where did you meet the girl?
Oh, her mother introduced us.
Oh, her mother?
Yeah, I wish she'd go home already.
I know. I know how you feel. Well, go ahead and rehearse your song, kid. Go ahead. That's all.
Till the end of time, long as stars are in the blue, long as there's a spring, a bird to sing, I'll go on loving you. Till the end of time, long as roses bloom in May, my love for you will grow deeper with every passing day, till the wells run dry and each mountain disappears. I'll be there for you, to care for you through laughter and through tears. So take my heart in sweet surrender and tenderly say that I'm the one you'll love and live for till the end of time. So take my heart in sweet surrender and tenderly say that I'm the one you'll love and live for till the end of
Larry, that was fine. Now I'm going down to Miss Livingston's dressing room. I'll see you right before the show. And congratulations again on your marriage.
Thanks.
You know, kid, I was kind of toying with the idea of myself, you know. Derry, do you find that two can live as cheaply as one?
They can if one of them's a pillow.
Rochester, what are you doing here?
I'm trying to find out what time it is.
Oh, well, see you later, Larry. Yum dum da dum dum ding da dum. I mean, ya da 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 dum da dum da dum dum dee da da dum.
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
I'll talk to you any way I want.
You do, and I'll slap your face, you beast.
Slap my face, will you? The last woman to slap my face never tried it again.
Don't you threaten me. I'll have you arrested and thrown in jail for the rest of your life.
Go ahead, call a cop. You can't frighten me.
One more word out of you and I will.
Ya da 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 da. See, that's a shame. That happens every time John sees his other wife. Oh, well. Let's see, which is Mary's dressing room? Oh, here it is. Oh, Mary! Mary, may I come in?
Just a minute, Jack. I'm not dressed yet.
Pauline.
Yes, Miss Livingston.
Help me slip into my dress. Mr. Benny wants to come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes.
Is he going to be on your program again this year?
Pauline, it isn't my program. It's Mr. Benny's, and Mr. Benny is a star. I just work for him, and he pays me a very nice salary. Not as much as I pay you, but a very nice salary.
Well, if I were you, Miss Livingston, I'd quit.
Now, wait a minute, Pauline. You don't understand. As a matter of fact, when I first went to work for Mr. Benny, I was 19 years old. And he promised me a raise just as soon as I reached my 28th birthday.
Your 28th birthday? Gee, did you remind him of it?
No, the raise wasn't worth admitting it.
Mary, I'm waiting.
Just a minute, Jack. Pauline, how does my dress look?
It looks all right, Miss Livingston, but if I were you, I'd wear it a little shorter. You have such pretty legs.
Oh, thanks, Pauline.
It's too bad you only have 2 of them.
What?
Well, what I mean is, when you've got something so nice, it's too bad you can't have more of it.
Well, believe me, Pauline, any girl who has nice legs is perfectly satisfied with just 2 of them. After all, who'd look at a girl with 3 legs?
Everybody.
Mary, how about it?
Just a minute. Pauline, hand me my makeup kit.
Here you are.
Thank you. Oh, look at that. I must have forgotten my cold cream, my nail polish, and my eyeshadow. I wanted to look so nice for our first show.
Mary!
All right. You can come in now. Hello.
Hello, Mary. Well, I'm all ready for the show.
Gee, you look nice.
Thanks. Here's your cold cream, your nail polish, and your eyeshadow.
Jack Benny, the next time you want to borrow those things, ask for them.
I didn't borrow them. When we changed dressing rooms, you forgot them. Anyway, we better get on the stage. It's 8 minutes to 4.
I've got 8 minutes to 3.
Well, you must be wrong. Now, come on. I'm nervous, anyway. Gee, look, Mary, they got the stage set up pretty nice, haven't they?
Yeah.
I wonder if this microphone is working. Look how low they've got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woof, woof. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jack, you're talking into the doorknob.
Oh, yeah. Gee, I'm so nervous. I always am on the first show.
Oh, the first show has nothing to do with it. You're always nervous.
I am not.
Look what happened last week when you read in the Pasadena paper the world was coming to an end.
That didn't bother me at all.
Then why were you wearing that asbestos suit?
Mary.
And walking around with that harp under your arm.
I wasn't taking any chances, sister. Now, don't embarrass me in front of the orchestra, will you?
All right, everybody, move over, clear the stage. Come on.
What?
You two, Benny, step aside.
Yes, sir.
Somebody grab those chairs.
I'll do it. I never saw him here before. Who is that, Mary?
Oh, he sweeps up around here.
Oh. Well, why is he wearing those striped pants and that silk hat?
Maybe he's going to call on MacArthur.
Him? But his eyes don't.
Oh, forget it, Jack.
Imagine sweeping up now 6 minutes before the show.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more to sweep up after the show.
Certainly sharp today, kiddo. Oh, look, there's Don Wilson over there rehearsing by himself. Look at him.
The Lucky Strike program starring Don Wilson with Mary Livingston, Jack. Say, the Lucky Strike program starring Don Wilson. Oh, no, I'd never get away with it.
What are you doing, Don?
Oh, hi, Jack. Hello, Mary.
Don, what were you doing?
Oh, I was just rehearsing the Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Larry Stevens, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
Well, that's swell, Don, but you shouldn't throw your name away like that. You know, give yourself a build-up there.
Well, to tell you the truth, I just never thought about it, Jack.
Oh.
After all, you're the boss, the star.
Yes, of course.
Hey, Benny, I thought I told you to move aside.
Oh, pardon me. Let's stand over here, Don. Well, I'll bet you're raring to go with those commercials, eh, Don?
You bet I am, Jack. I just can't wait until it's time for me to say LSMF,
T, Don.
oh, yes.
LSMFT. See, Jack, we've been off the air 17 weeks, and I guess I forgot.
Well, that's all right. Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
LSMFT. Yes, sir. You bet. Lucky Strike means, Lucky Strike means,
Don, what happened?
Lucky Strike means, Don, what happened?
No. Don, what's the matter with you? We're doing our show in 6 minutes. Try it again.
LSMFT. Lucky Strike means...
Fine tobacco.
Fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so...
Fully baked.
No, Jack, it's fully picked.
No, it is not.
It's fully packed! Fully packed!
That's it, Don, that's it.
Who's that fellow?
Oh, he sweeps up around here. Take it again, Don.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, so round, so firm, so full of pack, so free and easy on the, draw. You draw first. I got you covered, partner.
Who's that?
Some guy who's suing the Lone Ranger.
Oh, yes, I wish they'd stay in their own studios.
So free and easy on the draw. I've got it now, Jack.
Good, but you better rehearse it again. You had me worried there for a minute.
Okay, you can relax, Jackson. The stuff is here.
All right, Phil, listen, we've only got 5 minutes. Now, you better go over your band number right now.
Okay, are you all set, fellas? Yeah. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, root, toot, 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 toot. Hit it!
Phil!
What's wrong with you, Jackson?
You're playing Wayne King's theme song. He was our summer replacement.
Well, why didn't he take the music off the stand?
Phil, your boys ought to know better than to play anything they see in front of them.
That's the most asinine thing I ever heard.
Who's that?
He sweeps up around here. Now, go ahead, Phil. Rehearse your own number, will you?
Okay.
That's enough, Phil. That's enough. We're on the air in 3 minutes. They haven't let the audience in yet. Hey, where's our producer? Hey, Ballin.
What is it, Jack?
Look, if we go on the air in 3 minutes, the audience isn't in yet.
Well, Jack, you've got the wrong time. It's only 3 minutes to 3.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I'm the producer. That's my job.
Oh, well, I'm glad we got that settled. Anyway, if we have an hour, I'm going back to my dressing room. See you later, kid. Yum-dum-da-dum, dum-dum-dum, dum. I wonder if two could live as cheaply as... Nah, I don't think so. Ya-da-da-da-dum-da-dee-da-dum-da-dum-dum-dee-dum. But maybe if one of them doesn't eat so much, the two could... Nah, it wouldn't work. Da-dum-dum-dee-da-da-dum,
Boss, what are you doing back here?
I have the wrong time. We've got an hour yet.
Oh.
You know, Rochester, I'm really going to have to be on my toes this year because there's a great lineup of shows on Sunday. There's Gildersleeve, and following us is Cass Daly, then Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
You know, boss, Fred Allen's going to be with Edgar Bergen today.
Fred Allen is going to be with Bergen?
Yeah.
What's the matter? Is Charlie McCarthy sick?
No, Mr. Allen's going to be a guest, and next Sunday he starts his own program.
Allen, his own pro? How do you like that? Allen coming back on the air. You know, Rochester, it isn't that I dislike that stinker personally, but I can't understand why people laugh at his kind of jokes.
Me either, boss.
It's a mystery to me why a sponsor would give him a job.
It's hard to understand, ain't it?
Certainly is. I can't figure out why he's such a big success. Can you, Rochester?
No, sir. But then, boss, maybe it's just that our vines have sour grapes.
No, that's not the case with me. I always give credit where I can. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
My name is Bradley, Steve Bradley. I'm a press agent, and I'm just what the doctor ordered for you.
What?
I'm going to make people know you.
Know me? What are you talking about? I'm on the radio. Everybody knows me.
That's just it. They know you on Sundays, but what about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
What?
People should be Jack Benny conscious all the time, not just on Sundays. Why, what would happen if the Smiling Irishman smiled only on Mondays and was a sourpuss the rest of the week?
Well...
And what a dull gal Portia would be if she only faced life on Friday.
Yes, that's all very true.
I know what's on your mind, Benny. You're wondering if I, Jack and Steve Bradley, am the man to do your publicity.
Well, you don't have to be nervous.
Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Benny. I'm the fellow who made Madman Munch lose his temper. I'm the guy who cut Minute Rub down to 30 seconds. And I'm the man who made B.O. what it is today.
Gosh, you have done a lot of high-class work, but I don't think you can do anything for me.
Why, of course I can. What has B.O. got that you haven't got?
Well,
I'll make the world Benny conscious. I'll have your name on the lips of everybody in America. I'll do as much for you as I did for Sammy Klingenpeel.
Klingenpeel, that name is very familiar, but
Yeah, darn right it's familiar, and only because I made the world Klingenpeel conscious.
I know, but...
Why, 2 years ago, Sammy Klingenpeel was just another orchestra leader. But then I got a great idea. I said, look, Sammy, lots of people have gone over Niagara Falls in a barrel, but you're going over Niagara Falls in a barrel filled with wet cement.
Oh, yes, I remember. Wait a minute, he got killed doing it, didn't he?
Sure, but look at the publicity he got. Gosh, I'll never forget the newspaper space I got on his funeral. 40,000 people attended, and we never even found the body.
That's wonderful, but really, Mr. Bradley, I don't think I need...
Now, look, Benny, you hire me, and I'll make you famous in every part of the world. In the big cities, in the little towns like Schenectady, Joliet, Salinas, Amarillo, Waukegan, South Bend, Kenosha.
Wait a minute. Everybody in Waukegan knows me.
Well, how do you like that? I'm with you 3 minutes, and you're a celebrity already.
Who, me?
Hard to believe, isn't it? Hard to believe.
Well, look, Mr. Bradley, I've never had a publicity man, so I'll have to think it over. Can I see you after the show?
Why, certainly. You think it over, and in the meantime, I'll go out and order the barrel and the cement.
The what?
See you later.
What a dynamic personality. Maybe he's the kind of a guy I need. How did he impress you, Rochester?
I don't know, but I turned gray and he wasn't even talking to me.
Well, I think he's got something. I'm going to talk to him right after the broadcast. See, it's 3 o'clock by my watch. Turn on the radio, Rochester. Let's see what's on.
Okay.
And that concludes our regular Sunday program of popular recordings. The time is now exactly 5 minutes after 5 Pacific Standard Time.
Can you imagine that? 5 minutes after 5. The guy's all mixed up, too. Get another station, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Oh, careful, Bergen. You've got a frog in our throat.
Yes, so we have. But tell me, Charlie, do you like it here in New York?
Oh, yes, Bergen, I like it. It's fall, but the little flower is always out.
You know, Rochester, that Charlie McCarthy is it. Charlie McCarthy? Rochester, it's after 5. I missed my program.
You sure have, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Mary, Phil, where's my producer? Hey, Ballin. This is awful. What did my sponsor say?
Maybe he likes this.
Rochester, stop joking. You think that one person in this company would know what time it is? What am I going to do now? Ladies and gentlemen, having just completed a USO tour through Germany, I feel I'm in a position to tell you how much the boys overseas want and need entertainment. Even though the war is won and thousands of our boys are being brought home and discharged, thousands more will have to remain as occupation troops. The USO has done and is still doing a wonderful job of supplying that entertainment, but it is up to us to provide the funds so they can carry on this great work. So So please, ladies and gentlemen, when you are asked to contribute to the victory chest in your community, do it generously. Thank you.
National Broadcasting Company. No, there's nothing wrong with your radio. Jack Benny wasn't on. You're welcome. Say, Mabel, I know what you're thinking, Gertrude. Yeah. All those people killed themselves for nothing.
Lights Out is up next on nightly old-time radio shows.
Ironized Yeast presents Lights Out. Everybody.
It is later than you think.
Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly, but sincerely, to turn off your radio now.
This is Arch Obler with quite a cold. The idea for tonight's story, the strange story of He Dug It Up, came to me a few years ago when I was in England, pre-war England. I lived in a hotel overlooking a peaceful garden, and looking down into that bit of quiet, I strangely thought of death. But first, Frank Martin with a word.
If you're thin and jittery, run down and always tired, if you envy your peppy, popular, successful friends and wonder what they've got that you haven't got, why, maybe it's only more vitamin B and iron. Yes, today's thousands may suffer from deficiencies of these vital substances. Yet when you need them, there's such an easy way to get more of them. Simply take ironized yeast tablets. They're the famous two-way tonic that gives you both vitamin B and iron. So, when you need them, ironized yeast helps two ways to step up your weight and pep and sparkle, your enjoyment of life. Jot that name down now. Ironized yeast tablets. And now,
Lights Out. Everybody. It is a nice day. Yes, I agree with you, Mr. Sparrow. It's as nice a day as I, too, have ever seen. I remember a day like this when I was about 12. Mother took me into London to see the King's Palace. Yes, that was Edward. And I had on a green suit, and I... But that wouldn't interest you now, would it, Mr. Sparrow? Funny, I never went back. Less than 100 miles away, and I...
Morning, Mr. Jeffrey.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Elkington.
Here, Mr. Jeffrey. Oh, kind of late in the season to be planting now, ain't it?
Oh, I wouldn't exactly say that, Mr. Elkington. Not for what I'm planting.
Now, what would that be, might I be asking?
A tree, my friend.
Oh.
A nice, strong catawba tree. My son sent it to me all the way from Exeter.
You don't say, catawba tree. Well, now. I say, could I be giving you a hand with that shovel, Mr. Jeffrey?
Oh, no, thank you kindly. I like to dig in the soil, and the exercise does me good. Thank you kindly.
Oh, well, then I'll be off on my business, Mr. Jeffrey. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Elkington. Good morning. Well, it is a good morning. The rain certainly softened you up, didn't they, Mr. Ground? Nice and soft. Nice and soft. Going to dig you a nice, deep hole, Mr. Catawba. Nice, deep hole. so that your roots will have a good, firm start in life. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, that's not the way to act, Mr. Ground, throwing big boulders in the way of my shovel. Mighty big stone, too, from the sound of it. Dig you up, Mr. Boulder. It takes me a week, yes, indeed. Phew. Big stone, all right. Keep after it, that's all. Buried all these years in the corner of my garden, and I never knew about you, now, did I? There. There, that's showing results. Yeah. Like an oblong. That's queer. Big flat oblong stone in my garden. Dig you up. That's what I'll do. Dig you up. Yes, indeed. Oh, Mrs. Gracie. Mrs. Gracie.
Yes, what is it?
Mrs. Gracie, come out here. You've got to come out.
All right, all right. Now, what in creation is it, Mr. Jeffrey?
Mrs. Gracie, look. Look.
Land sakes alive. What kind of a hole for a tree is that? Don't see why in the world...
Look, I tell you.
Is it a coffin?
Coffin? That size and out of stone? Then what would a coffin be doing in my garden?
I never heard of anyone being buried here. It's much too big.
Mrs. Gracie, I got it.
What?
Roman. The Romans left it here.
Romans?
Don't you understand? The Romans invaded and lived in Britain over 1,500 years ago. They left it here.
Nobody like that lived round here, and don't you tell me anything different, Mr. Jeffrey.
But I am telling you, a Roman's a coffinist.
Now, Mr. Jeffrey.
Oh, never mind. Mr. Robinson, run over and get Mr. Robinson here. Tell him to bring a couple of men. We've got to dig this thing up.
We've got to dig it up? Mr. Jeffrey, it's the sun that struck your head.
Now, don't stand there lecturing me. Mr. Robinson, hurry, get him.
No, I won't.
What?
Not to dig it up, I won't. To bury it deeper, yes, but not to dig it up.
Listen.
Coffin or one of them heathen, whatever you call it, it makes no difference. If it's been buried here all these years, then I say cover it over and let it be. There's some things best left deep under the ground.
All right, men. Are you ready with the ropes?
Ready, Mr. Robinson. Yes,
Right you are. How about you, Joe?
All ready, Mr. Robinson.
Good. Now, when I give the signal, 1, 2, 3, you on that side of the rope pull, while you on the other side work on the block and tackle. 1, 2, and up on 3. Have you got it?
Hey, we have it. Oh, Mr. Robinson, you will be careful. I mean not to damage.
Now, look here,
please.
friend Jeffrey. I've been in the building and excavating trade and constable of this township for 20 years.
I know.
And all that time, I've given only one thing, and that's satisfaction.
Yes.
Now, as for this little stone container...
Little Judas Priest, man. It's 10 foot by 3, and heaven knows how heavy.
Well, true as that may be to my way of thinking, it's still a small job. If you're worried about my damaging it, you're free to call in one of my competitors.
No, Mr. Robinson. I want you to handle the matter. Oh, yes.
All right, then stay clear, and I'll give the order.
Now, wait. If you please, Mr. Robinson, wait. That housekeeper of mine, Mrs. Gracie, she wouldn't want to miss the doings, and I don't know where she's gone off to. If
now,
you'd only
Mr.
wait...
Jeffrey, I'm a busy man, so if you'll just stand aside...
No, please.
All right, men. Now, don't pull till I give the signal. 1, 2, 3, up with it. Up. Easy there, Joe. Bring those ropes over the left. Up with it. Up with it. Steady there. Not too fast, you fool. Stand the ship is ready to put under it. Easy now, Joe.
No, don't swing it too high. Not too high. Are you deaf? Not too high, or is it...
No. Put it back in the ground. Put it back in the ground, I tell you.
Mrs. Gracie, what in the...
Get out of the way.
Put it back in the ground. In the ground it was, and in the ground it belongs. Mr. Jeffrey, I'm
Get out
warning
of
you.
the way. Jeffrey, get that woman out of
In
the way.
the ground.
Mrs. Gracie, are you crazy?
Easy, old woman. Get away. My men can't hold it.
Tackle, it's slipping.
Look out. Look out. Get on those ropes, fools. Get on those ropes. Lift. Hurry now. Hurry. Get over here.
Mother in heaven. It fell right on top of her. Coffin fell right on top of her. Oh, Mrs. Tracy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll agree when an ancient stone coffin buried for centuries in a peaceful English countryside becomes an instrument of sudden death. Well, it's time for a deep breath and let our well-stretched imaginations move back into hope again as we turn our thoughts to something that perhaps is your problem. Could this be you saying to your children,
Listen, you kids, I'm tired. This war job has got me down. Now keep quiet, you hear me?
Oh, Joe, don't be so cross to the children. Come eat your good supper and you'll feel better.
Cross? Who's cross? I'm tired, I tell you. I'm too tired to eat. I'm too tired to sleep. All I ask is a little peace, and you keep my nerves on edge with your nagging. No wonder I'm getting thin as a rail.
Oh, now, mister, don't be so quick to blame your family or your job. Maybe all that's to blame is vitamin B and iron shortage. You say you're thin and tired and jittery? Well, when you don't get enough vitamin B from the food you eat, you may lose your appetite. You may eat so poorly that you lose weight and lose your pep. Why, you may not even get all the good out of what you do eat. And when you don't get enough iron from your food, you may be weak and pale, feel only half alive.
Well, if that is my trouble, can I help it?
Yes, sir, I think you can. And here's the quickest, easiest way I know. Take ironized yeast tablets. They're the famous two-way tonic that gives you both vitamin B and iron, yet they cost but a few pennies a day. And these pleasant little tablets are an absolute cinch to take. So if you simply need more vitamin B and iron, don't wait. Start taking ironized yeast tablets right away, tonight. Then see if pretty quick you aren't saying,
Boy, oh boy, I feel swell. Tired? Jittery? Not me. Not put on pounds. That ironized yeast sure is great stuff.
Now, back to Lights Out and our story of He Dug It Up. The stone coffin has fallen, and the old housekeeper is dead.
Ah, it's a cruel thing, Mr. Jeffrey, cruel indeed.
Yes.
Cruel and yet not cruel, for the ways of the divine providence are beyond our poor mortal understanding. Yes, I shall say that very thing over her grave when we bury the poor woman.
As you wish, Reverend.
Ah, what a day this has been. More excitement in just a few hours in this village than we've had in a dozen years. I wonder now whether... Ah, almost 9. Well, I'd better be getting back to the church. Have to get everything ready for the service tomorrow. Did you speak to Mr. Carboy about the coffin?
Yes.
That's good. We'll pay the good lady proper respect, we will. Well, I'll be on my way.
Good night, Reverend.
One thing more, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes?
I didn't want to speak of it in all the excitement before, but I feel I really should.
Yes, Reverend.
I know you were in quite an emotional state of mind, but do you feel it was quite the proper and respectable thing to do? I mean, having that Roman antique brought right here into the house, when it, inanimate thing though it be, was the direct cause of poor Mrs. Grace's death.
I wanted the sarcophagus in here, Reverend.
Wanted it? But what possible use could that great stone sepulchre be to you? Oh, I realize it has certain intrinsic value. After the funeral, we'll get in touch with the proper museum authorities in London and have them take care of it. But don't you see, it wasn't quite respectful of the dead. Bringing the very thing in here that had caused the tragedy. Not respectful at all, Mr. Jeffrey.
It was what I wanted. Good night, Reverend.
But, Mr. Jeffrey, good night. Good night.
Disrespectful. No fault of Mr. Coffin that she ran under it. Call in the proper authorities. I'm proper authority in Roman things myself, I am. Read with old Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, didn't I? I certainly did. Here you are, Mr. Coffin. Just where I made them put you. And I did make them, didn't I? Ran right under you, she did. Superstitious old fool. No fault of yours, Mr. Coffin. Yes, you're a big one. Let me see. About 10 feet long on this side and 4 this way. It's a discovery that ought to make history, that it ought. Wait for experts, should I? What would the experts do? Cart you off to one of those museums, and there I'd be, the man that found you, with nothing but a hole in my garden and a new grave in the cemetery to show what had happened. No. I'd be my own expert, Mr. Coffin. I'll open you up myself right now. And I'll take the blame or credit, and no mistake about it. The iron bar. Mr. Robinson will wonder where his crowbar went. Now, won't he, Mr. Coffin? But we'll give it back to him in the morning. Yes, indeed. Yes. Got you wide open enough to look inside now, haven't I? Experts. I'll show them. I can't see. Matches. There now. If you don't mind now, Mr. Coffin, I'll bend over to see what you've got inside. Can't be. Got to go off. Are you there? Are you there? Reverend, this is Mr. Jeffrey. Yes, Jeffrey. No. Listen to me. That Roman sarcophagus, I just opened it. Inside of it, there's something, a woman, and yet it isn't. I mean, oh, Reverend, come over quickly. You see, whatever it is, I don't think it's dead.
My dear Mr. Jeffrey, you must listen to me. I'm a person of understanding, of judgment. I say leave it alone. Don't go near the thing until they get here. Now, I phoned Dr. Thompson at the British Museum. He's an expert, a qualified expert.
Expert. There you go, experting again. Now, you shove on that side, and I'll pull on with this.
Yes.
There. That ought to fetch the lid off.
Well, it's all against my better judgment.
All right. Off with it. There she goes. Another shove. Open. We've got it open. Reverend, look at her head.
Why, what in Satan's name is it?
Lion's head. That's it, a lion's head.
And the body of a woman.
And alive. She is alive.
Don't be a fool. It's a heathen idol, stone.
No, it's living skin. I'll touch it. I'll prove it. It is stone.
A blasphemous heathen thing. We'll cover it up, and in the morning I'll have it buried again.
No, you won't. It's mine. Found it on my property.
Oh, heaven forgive you. The blood of your poor housekeeper still staining it.
Staining it? What are you talking about?
Mrs. Grace's blood. See, it's still on it.
But the outside of the coffin fell on her. This part was closed.
But it is blood. Fresh blood.
Oh, it can't be, Alfie.
Mr. Jeffrey.
Reverend, that woman. A minute ago I felt cold stone. And now it's warm.
Constable, can't you walk any faster?
Oh, it'll wait, Reverend. Whatever it is, it'll wait.
But I tell you, he acted like a madman. Practically threw me out of the house bodily because I persisted.
Now, wait a minute, Reverend. Begging your pardon, wait a minute. Me, I don't know a thing about this. I'm sleeping as peaceful as a sheep in the fields when you wake me up.
Will you represent the law in this community?
But, begging your pardon, I don't know that there's any representing to do, if you get what I mean.
But I told you...
Yes, sir, you told me that the coffin that killed poor Mrs. Gracie...
He opened it, I tell you.
And since when is that against the law?
Oh, keep walking, man, keep walking.
Begging your pardon, Reverend, I know when I'm walking.
Now, here's the house. Now, go in there and see for yourself.
And that's just what I'm going to do, sir.
You'll see. I demand that you remove the heathen idol by force and have it buried in the ground where it belongs. I demand that you...
Hold it, sir. Well, it's me, Mr. Jeffrey.
I didn't send for you.
I brought him here.
Oh, it's you, is it?
And now, Mr. Jeffrey, I feel it my duty...
begging your pardon, Reverend. As long as you got me out of bed, let me do the talking, if you don't mind, sir. Now, Mr. Jeffrey, I'd like a bit of an explanation.
Explanation, my grandmother.
Constable. Constable, he slammed the door in our faces.
Oh, that he did, but what of it? He's broke no law that I know of.
Then come and see for yourself. At the window.
What? Glory be. I see the thing now. It can't be alive.
I don't know. Stone, and yet it was warm to the touch.
It better not be alive.
Why do you say that?
Because, look for yourself. Mr. Jeffrey, he's cutting into her with that bit of iron.
It was good of you to come in and help me, Mr. Elkington.
I'm right glad to be of service, I am. I'm glad to be of service, but this is devilish hard rock.
Yes, it is. But we've got to break the statue open, Mr. Elkington. We've got to.
If you say so.
Oh, those fools, the constable and the reverend, they'll be back soon with some new ideas about getting into the house, now won't they?
I suppose so.
But they won't stop me. They won't. I've a chance to do something before I die. To make a big discovery, I tell you. They won't stop me. We'll have the statue cut open before they get here now, won't we, Mr. Elkington?
We'll try, I will try.
Yes. Cut it open and note the secret. Something that keeps that stone warm as if it were flesh. That'll be a wonderful discovery now, won't it?
Oh, that it will.
Faster, Mr. Elkington, faster.
I'll try. Crikey, this stone is so hard.
They mustn't stop us. No. Faster, Mr. Elkington. Elkington, why have you stopped?
It's my fingers cramped. Can't open me hand.
Chisel, give it to me.
All right.
Got to keep working. Got to. I'll know the secret in you, Lionhead. That's the name I'm going to give her, Elkington, Lionhead. The power that's kept the stone in you warm all these centuries. I've got to know that, Lionhead. And I will know it. Have to keep working. Have to keep...
Now, Reverend, you can drive a man too far. I tell you...
No, Constable, now we'll tell you. For 24 hours you've been telling the people of this community that the law won't permit you to do this and the law won't permit you to do that.
Hell, it won't.
But we tell you we won't stand by and permit one of our citizens to indulge in heathen madness and not do something about it. Am I right, gentlemen?
But what can I do? He's in his own home. He's not committing any public nuisance.
We've gone over that 100 times. The fact remains you've got to go in there and stop him. You've got to.
The hardest stone in the world. They made you, yeah.
Mr. Jeffrey, I'm asking you, please stop cutting into it.
Please. Of the warmth. Before any of the others knew about it. Or they stopped me.
Hark! What's that?
Got to keep working.
That sound, Mr. Jeffrey, what is it?
Can't talk to you, Mr. Elkington. Important work.
But, Mr. Jeffrey, the chisel, why did you drop it?
My hand. Like an electric current running through the chisel.
Oh, no.
No, just a weariness in my muscles. Pick up the chisel. Yes. Go on. Yes.
I think I'm going now, Mr. Jeffrey.
No, you stay where you are. You stay
go.
until you stay there. If I lock the door for you, they will come in. And I won't let them in before I learn the secret, you hear me?
That sound, Mr. Jeffrey, it's like something burning. Do you hear? It's been getting louder and louder.
Won't stop. I've got to find the secret of that warmth. 15 centuries of warmth.
Mr. Jeffrey, it's the constable.
I don't care.
Open up, Mr. Jeffrey.
You won't stop me, you meddling fool.
Open up, Mr. Jeffrey, in the name of the law. We've got a warrant this time, good and proper.
Warrant? Oh, no.
Oh, Mr. Jeffrey, you ought to really...
No. I'm almost finished. Go away.
We've got Professor Thompson from the museum.
Mr. Jeffrey, I warn you.
No.
Open up or we'll break down the door.
Mr. Jeffrey, I beg of you, please.
No, they won't stop me. But I'm almost through.
I tell you, I'm frightened, I am.
Broken through to the middle of my statue. I'll find out his secret, and no one else. There. My chisel's breaking through. It's hollow. Breaking through. In a second, I'll know. In a second, I'll...
Help! Somebody help! Jeffrey! What, Mr. Jeffrey? He's on fire! He's on fire!
All right, men, quiet down. Nothing more we can do. Mr. Jeffrey is dead.
Such a horrible way to die.
It was the lantern. Set him afire, I guess.
No, it wasn't that.
Hey, what say, Mr. Elfington?
I saw it all. A flame come out of the statue.
You're dead, man.
No, I swear it's the truth. I saw it. Professor Thompson, you tell him. What did you see as you came through the door?
There was a flame from it.
But how can that be? Flame from a statue?
And the Romans went down to Egypt.
Professor, tell us, what is it? What is this statue?
The lioness-headed goddess Sekhmet.
Well?
And they worshipped her as the goddess of fire.
Now, just a second, Mr. Obler. Are you asking us to believe that in the year of our Lord 1940 they could unearth a stone sarcophagus containing a Roman fire goddess capable of burning a man to death? Oh, come now.
Well, is that any more difficult to believe than that a small Austrian house painter with a comedy mustache could try to burn up a world? You know, Frank, England is an island full of mysterious traces of ancient civilizations. Have you ever heard of Stonehenge?
Stonehenge? What's that?
Well, it's a strange... But I'll tell you about that in just a moment.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'll take that moment to remind you, if simply because of vitamin B and iron shortage, you're unattractively thin and nervous, unable to eat or sleep as you should, seldom feeling really peppy and alive, then for your own sake, try ironized yeast tablets. They cost but a few pennies a day. What's more, they're sold on a money-back basis. Listen, if you don't quickly begin to eat and sleep better, to feel much stronger and livelier, and if you're not convinced that ironized yeast will help you gain pounds of brand new flesh, the cost of the first bottle will be refunded to you in full by Ironized Yeast, Box IY, Rahway, New Jersey. Just be very sure you get the one and only ironized yeast, with IY on the package and on each tablet. And now, Mr. Obler, you're about to tell us...
Yes, about Stonehenge. Over in England, miles away from the cities, you're driving along, and suddenly as you come over a rise of the road, there are these tremendous archways and monuments of stone, a strange semicircle of great stone pillars. Archaeologists say they've been there since prehistoric times, yet there are no stone quarries within hundreds of miles. No one knows how those blocks of stone got there and who or what put them there. These unsolved mysteries from out of mankind's past, who knows but that someday traces of our own civilization will be found, and then a super race of man will ask, were they men, these people of 1943?
And now, what happens next week, Mr. Obler?
Well, we were talking about a little Austrian house painter before, Schickelgruber by name. Now, we all know how his warped ideas shook a world. Well, next week's story is about a boy, a college boy who also had a twisted idea, and with it, twisted a universe. The title, Oxychloride X. The time, next week.
Yes, Lights Out will come to you again next Tuesday at the same time. Be sure to listen to Arch Obler's Oxychloride X. And if you need more vitamin B and iron, be sure to try ironized yeast, the one and only ironized yeast, with the big letters IY on the package and on each tablet.
It is later than you think.
A smooth, comfortable shave. That's what you want from a shaving cream. And, brother, that's what you get with Molay Brushless Shaving Cream. Molay forms a protective film between your skin and your razor, gives your razor something to ride on, helps guard your face against nicks and cuts. The result? a smooth, comfortable shave. So get Mole, M-O-L-L-E, Mole Brushless Shaving Cream. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Hey, man, how about we check in with Fibber, Magee, and Molly next? That sounds good to me.
From Omaha, Nebraska, the Pet Milk Program with Fibber, Magee, and Molly. The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, brings you Fibber, Magee, and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, Cliff Arquette, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Keith Fowler and directed by Max Hutto, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Any woman who cooks likes to feel that her work is appreciated. And I'll tell you a secret. Compliments do seem to come oftener to the women who cook with Pet evaporated milk. Honest, you can make the most delicious things in the world with Pet milk. Cream pies, for instance, that just can't be beat for smoothness and downright goodness. Puddings and custards, too, and all sorts of sauces and gravies. And try Pet milk meatloaf sometime. Boy, what a treat that is. In meatloaf, you see, you use Pet milk in place of eggs because Pet milk is double rich. Sweet country milk concentrated to double richness by evaporation. And what a difference that double richness makes in so many things, from cream soups to the frosting on a cake. Now, on every tall can of Pet milk, you get a famous Mary Lee Taylor recipe right on the label. So tomorrow, get several tall cans of Pet milk and let Pet help you get more compliments on your cooking. The Community Chest Campaign gets underway in Omaha tonight with a big rally at the Exarban Coliseum. And here in his hotel room, working on a speech that nobody asked him to make, is himself, of Fibber, Magee, and Molly.
All right, Molly, let's get to work. I want to dictate the speech I'm going to make tonight at that absorbing Coliseum.
Exarban.
Gesundheit.
No, dearie, the name of the...
Boy, oh boy, what a speech this'll be. I'll fracture 'em. I'll get applause. I'll get cheers. I'll get the phone. Hello, Magee in 303 speaking. The desk. I didn't order no desk. Oh, the desk clerk. Oh, you found one for me, eh? Owns his own fiddle, too, eh? Oh, well. I'll send him right up.
What is this about a fiddle?
I ordered an Italian fiddle player to fiddle some fiddle music for me while I dictate my speech. Mood music.
Magee, you didn't really ask for a violin player.
He's on his way up here now. Clerk said he was bringing his Stradivarius with him. That's probably Italian for girlfriend. Boy, when I sound off with that speech tonight at that exorbitant Coliseum...
Exarban.
Gesundheit. When I make that speech, I'll have them in the aisles. I'll have their eyes full of tears and their hands full of money, stuffing it into the community chest.
Come in.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, hi, Bud.
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Pasquale Amalfi, the most talented virtuoso of the violin in all of South Omaha.
Oh. I see. The fiddle player, eh? You any good?
Well, am I good?
Yeah.
When I was just a little boy, I played with the Heifetz and the Chrysler.
Oh, out running around with the other kids when he should have been home practicing, huh? Well, you just do the best you can.
Well, what do you want me to do, boss?
You just play real sad when I give you the high sign. Mood music. I'm going to dictate my speech. Got a pencil, Molly?
Yes, dearie.
Well, here we go. Play, fiddle. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that I and you, and in fact all of us, have come here tonight because this is the night we are gathered here tonight at this horse bargain Coliseum.
Exarban.
Stop the music. Stop the music. You know, your cold is getting worse, kiddo. Well, what did I say? You got it wrote down?
No, dearie.
Why not?
No paper.
Oh. Well, that's just the result of somebody's carelessness.
Yours.
We won't mention no names. Give me the phone. Hello, this is Magoo in 202, or McGee in 303. Send up 2 bellhops, one with plain paper and one with carbon paper. That's right, 2 of them, on the double, bud.
McGee, you didn't need 2 boys for that.
Why, sure I did. The boy that carries the plain paper can't carry the carbon paper. Might get it all smudged up. Here, take the speech down on this envelope till the paper gets here. I gotta get busy.
Shoot, dearie.
Music, bud. You people are here tonight because you're the type people that when other people need help, people like us, we like to help people. Stop the music. What'd I say? Read that back.
All right. You said American people are generous. They like to help their fellow man in time of need.
Yeah, that's what I said. Hey, I turned a pretty nice phrase, you know that. I'll bet
Come in.
Here's your paper, sir.
And your carbon paper, sir.
Okay, thanks, boys. Here's 7 cents. Divide that among you.
McGee, why did you give the boys 7 cents, for goodness sake?
Why not? Everything else has gone up from a nickel to 7 cents. Let's get on with the speech. Music, maestro. The community chest, whichever community needs its help, because of all the good stuff it does, won't be able to do this stuff without plenty of dough and stop the music. Read it back. What did I say?
Well, you said your community chest services cover such things as Boys Club, the USO, Care of the Aged, and dozens of other important projects.
My very words. Dogs on it, who's interrupting me? Come in.
Oh, it's Dr. Gamble. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Molly, and good evening to you, Belt Buster.
Hi, Melon Belly. And don't sit down. I'm busier than a double-jointed woodpecker in a lumberyard. I'm working on my speech for tonight. You ready, Maestro?
Si, signore.
Where'd he come from? I didn't see him standing there.
Well, he plays the mood music, Doctor.
Oh, no.
Yep. While I compose my speech, he fiddles. We got to leave here in a few minutes, and I got to get out to that ex-soybean coliseum.
Ex-Sarvin.
You think you ought to try penicillin, Molly?
Dearie, the name of the place.
Come in.
Here's your penny, sir.
A penny? For what?
Well, you gave us 7 cents to divide between us, and it didn't come out even. You get a penny back.
Oh. Okay, let's have it.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Well, what are you so happy about, son?
I won the bet. I told Joe he'd take it.
Why shouldn't I take it? It was my penny in the first place. Well, come on, let's get on with this speech, Molly. It's getting late.
What's the subject of this address?
Generosity.
It figures. Who asked you to speak anyhow?
Only the high muckety-muck of the whole campaign here asked me to speak. That's hoo-ha. A guy named Landon.
Mr. Landon asked you, McGee?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now, bet Landon doesn't know it either.
Oh, sure he does. I cornered him on the sidewalk this morning and offered to make the big speech of the evening. Don't do it, he says. And I says, no trouble at all, I says, grabbing him by the lapel. What do you want me to talk about? And he says, about 10 seconds if we can't stop you. And I says, I'll talk an hour. And he was so overcome with gratitude, he just gave a kind of a low moan, put his hands over his eyes, turned on his heel, and walked into an open manhole. I come right upstairs and called my fiddle player.
Where are you going, Doctor?
To find an open manhole. I'm going to join Landon. So which way out of here? Oh, this door must be...
Oh, no, Doctor,
No,
not that door.
I got all my stuff.
Oh, no.
This place is just like home.
Billy Mills in the orchestra, and Because of You.
busy lobby.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, we better call a cab and get out to that Coliseum because, oh, look, there's Wally Wimple.
Oh, yes. Hello, Mr. Wimple.
Hi, Wimp.
Hello, folks. Oh, am I having a good time this week? I love Omaha.
Yeah?
Well, good. What do you like best about Omaha, Mr. Wimple?
No sweetie face.
Sweetie face, you mean?
Yes, my big old wife. Ah, beautiful, peaceful Nebraska. I was out in the country today with my bird book, and all at once I heard a strange noise in a clump of bushes.
Yeah?
A strange noise.
Yes, so I tippy-toed up and peeked right in.
Oh? What was it, Wimp? A tax collector on the lam?
No, it was the strangest sight, Mr. Magee. I saw a small yellow body with a sharp bill, 4 webbed feet, and a large copper-colored horn.
My goodness. What on earth was it?
A canary, 2 ducks, and a saxophone player named Eddie.
Well, I tell you, it must be beautiful out there in the country, Mr. Wimple. With the trees changing color and all.
Yes, it's just lovely, Mrs. Magee. In fact, I wrote a little poem about it today. I call it Fall in Nebraska.
Fall in Nebraska. Well, let's hear it, Wimp, since we're probably going to anyhow.
All righty. It's fall in old Nebraska. The leaves are red and gold. The flowers and trees and birds and bees are ready for the cold. The whole world's changing colors, and I'll change color too. When Sweetie Face finds me, I'll be a lovely black and blue.
Real cute, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we got to get... Oh, excuse me, Bud.
Oh, my fault, sir. Oh, it's you, pal. Hi, Molly.
Oh, hi,
Hello,
Junior.
Mr. Wilcox. You having fun in Omaha?
Oh, you bet I am, Molly. It's my hometown, you know. Born here.
Yeah, I understand they got a bronze plate on your old desk out at Benson High School, Junior. Yeah, that's right. Got it right on his old desk. It says Harlow Wilcox slept here.
You're a great little joker, pal.
Something in there tonight.
At least that's one man's opinion. Yours?
Yeah.
Well, say, incidentally, kids, did you hear that ball game on the radio this afternoon?
Oh, that was something.
I was sitting there listening, and I got to thinking what an important part milk plays in our daily menus.
Ooh, right out of deep left field.
And it suddenly occurred to me that one of the greatest food bargains on the market these days is Pet evaporated milk.
Yeah, but what that...
Yes, sir. Pet milk not only gives you all the goodness of whole sweet milk, but it's easy on your budget, too.
Wilcox now pitching for Pet.
Because Pet costs less generally than any other form of whole milk. That's right. Pet evaporated milk, which is just good, sweet country milk made double rich by evaporation, costs you less than any other form of whole milk.
Know,
that's why Pet milk is such a favorite with economy-minded housewives.
Yeah,
and beyond that, it's
look,
so good.
Wait,
it's good. It's delicious.
1 minute, please. Look, Milky.
Yes, pal.
Do you have to go, Mr. Wilcox? We do.
Well, yes, Molly, I do. I really do. There's an old school chum waiting to have dinner with me right now, Molly.
Oh, how nice. I suppose you'll talk about the days when you tried to see who could get your clothes off first to dive into the old swimming hole, huh?
Well, I hardly think so. Her name is Mary McNamara. See you later.
Oh, what you said.
That was an awful mistake I made, wasn't it, about the old school chum?
Boy, oh boy. That was like one girl basketball player falling down and grabbing another girl basketball player by her uniform.
What do you mean, dearie?
You pulled a bloomer. Yeah, my gosh, don't you get it, Molly? Basketball girls pulled a...
It ain't funny, McGee.
Ain't? That's odd. When I and Fred Nittany used that gag at the Elks Club in Wahoo. Oh, hey, there's Latrivia. He's going out to the Coliseum. Maybe he'll take us. Hey, Latrivia. Hi, boy.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, glad to see you, Molly. Come on, let's get outside here. I've got a cab coming in a few minutes.
Oh, okay. Hey, this is quite a town, Latriv. You ever been here before?
Oh, yes, I know Omaha very well.
That's
I
all.
used to come over here quite often to attend the theater, McGee.
Oh, the theater, huh?
Yes. In fact, I was here a couple of years ago when Oklahoma played Omaha.
Good game, was it, Mr. Mayor?
Game?
Yeah, you said you seen Omaha play against Oklahoma here. Must have been a good game, too, because them Oklahomans play nice football, and Omaha
Just a minute, McGee. I don't think
You know, I just love football, Mr. Mayor. I wish I understood it. You know, McGee took me to see Michigan play William and Mary one time, and they had William down on Mary's 30-yard line. And all of a sudden...
Wait. Molly, please. I'm afraid I didn't make myself quite clear here. When I mentioned Oklahoma, I didn't mean a football game. It wasn't a football game I saw at all. It was a musical comedy.
Oh, I know what you mean, boy. I've seen plenty of games like that. Team gets an off day and they play like a bunch of chorus girls, a whole 12, a whole flock.
They didn't play like chorus girls. They were chorus girls.
Huh?
There was a whole line of chorus girls.
Playing football? Heavenly days, those dainty little things.
No. Will you let me explain?
Chorus girls in the line, eh? I see. What they use in the backfield, ballet dancers? Because with chorus girls in the line distract the other players, the backfield could slip around the end and...
Oh, stop it! This is getting ridiculous. Look, what I was trying to explain...
that would let those little girls play a rough game like football and get all muddied up...
They didn't play a rough game of football.
Huh?
A rough game of mud ball.
What?
A flat ball.
You said that...
I didn't say a goal game at all.
You said...
A ball game this fall.
Oklahoma.
Look, when I said I saw Homer play Homer Homer play Hammer, Lumber, Locomona. I didn't say the music was... You were the ones that... I was only trying... You were...
Omaha?
McGee?
Yes, boy?
I am taking a cab out to that Xarben Coliseum right now.
We know.
Sure, boy. May I go, too?
Yes? You may go straight to... Goodbye!
Here's a new tune by Ken Darby, dedicated to his old home state and mine, my little Nebraska town.
Just a little bit south of Omaha, on the Burlington Railroad line, there's Geneva, Bruning, Belvedere, and the next little town is mine. Though it's plain as can be, it's heaven to me, my little Nebraska town. There's a house with a yard full of clover, and a barn where we played Andy over. How I miss the perfume of lilacs in bloom, and meadows of golden brown. How dear to me is the memory of my little Nebraska town. There's a lazy old blue meandering through my little Nebraska town. There's a girl and a boy on the river. There's a kiss he forgot to give her. Now whenever I see a mulberry tree or meadows of milkweed down, I yearn again to return again to my little Nebraska town.
taxi. Hey, taxi. I hope we get one quick. I got that speech to make at that Exarban Coliseum.
Well, I'm glad you finally realized Exarban is a coliseum and not a cold in the head.
Well, I finally found out.
Well, here's the cab.
Call the cab lady. Where to? Oh, hello there, kids. Hi, daughter. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, old timer.
Well, what are you doing driving a cab?
Well, I'm just resting, daughter. Spent my first day in Omaha sightseeing.
Yeah?
Sight saw so much my feet hurt, so I got me a job driving a cab.
Well, we got no time to stand here blabbing, old timer. Let's go, boy, to the Coliseum and don't spare the horsepower.
Okay, kids, we're off in a cloud of dust.
Well, it's lucky you came along, Mr. Oldtimer. Now, don't drive too fast, though. We don't want you to get arrested.
Don't worry, daughter. They can't arrest me in this town.
They can't. Why not?
Well, I got no license. It ain't my cab, and I'm not even a citizen of Omaha.
Oh, my.
Well, just so we get there, boy.
Don't worry, Johnny. I'll get you there pronto.
Good.
One question, though.
Shoot.
Where is the joint?
What? Oh, my gosh, you don't know where it is? Well, stop. Well, Dad-rat, we got to find that Coliseum. We've been driving around now for over an hour. That rally is half over by this time, and all them people...
I don't see it no place, kids. But I know another nice little place. Charlie's place.
Charlie's place?
What an atmosphere. Sawdust up to your ankles and barbecue sauce up to your eyebrows. Why, it's the
We
best...
don't want to go to Charlie's place.
Well, now, how about the railroad station, kids? I can find that.
Huh?
Put you on the Union Pacific. You can go any place on the Union Pacific, Johnny.
I tell you, I don't want to go any place. I want to go to the Exarban Coliseum. I got to make a speech.
Wait, stop the cab.
Huh?
Get up off the floor there, Magee.
Huh?
Let's ask the man on the corner there. He'll tell us where the Coliseum is.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bud, come here a minute.
Well, Magee, Missy.
Heavenly days, it's Ole.
Hi, Ole.
Yes, sure glad to see you, Missy. I'm even glad to see you, Magee.
Huh? Well, come on, hop in, Ole. You know where the Exarban Coliseum is, Ole?
Magee, I don't even know where Omaha is. Where's the hotel?
You mean you've been lost ever since you got here?
That's right, Mrs. I used to wander around as unhappy as a Swede at a Norwegian picnic.
Well, if you couldn't find the hotel, where did you sleep last night?
At the stockyard with the cows.
The stockyard? You're lucky they didn't ship you out.
Oh, I wasn't worried. They wouldn't get good price for me. I'm pretty tough around the T-bone, you know.
Well, you must like cows if you're willing to spend the night with them.
Oh, sure. In Sweden, we got great big flocks of cattle.
Huh? Do you have cowboys there?
No, in Sweden, all cows are squirrels, Magee.
You ask a squarehead question, you get a squarehead answer.
You know, I like cows a lot because it was by a cow I first met my missus.
Oh, really? What happened, Ole?
Well, she lived on next farm to me, you see. And one morning it was so dark we both go by mistake to the same barn and start to milk the same cow.
Well, if it was so dark, how did you know she was there?
Well, when I squeezed, something squeezed us back, you see.
And that was the beginning of romance?
Sure. Soon we was making beautiful music together, you know, squirting milk into the same bucket.
Well, this ain't getting me to the Coliseum. Dad Ratted, where is that Coliseum?
I still say we ought to go to Charlie's place.
Oh, pipe down and hunt the Coliseum. I got a beautiful speech.
Oh, but Charlie's place is the only place I can find. See? We're coming to it now.
Dad Ratted, old timer, I told you I don't want to... Oh, my gosh. Stop the cab. Stop it. Oh.
What is it, dearie?
Look. Right across from Charlie's place. See it? Exarban.
Gesundheit.
Huh?
Oh! The Exarban Coliseum.
Well, what do you know? I found it. Maybe I ought to stay here and get a license.
Yeah. Well, come on, Molly. Let's hurry. Hurry up. We'll sneak through the stage door. I hope we ain't too late.
So do I, lover. Here's the door. Looks pretty dark, dearie. One small light on the stage.
Empty. Everybody gone home.
Oh, dear. And after you work so hard on your speech.
Yeah. Gee whiz, nobody here to listen.
Look, sweetheart, Mother's here.
Huh?
I'll listen. I'd love to hear that speech.
Yeah? You would? Well, sit down, Tootsie. You're going to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here to... My gosh. Pasquale.
Si, signore.
Oh, fine. We are gathered here tonight to talk about the community chest. And I want to say to you that if we all get in there and...
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. You know, there are times when nothing is quite so satisfying as a good cup of coffee. And if you're in the habit of creaming your coffee, Pet Milk is for you. You see, Pet evaporated milk, unlike ordinary milk, is just the right consistency for coffee because it's concentrated to double richness. Yes, Pet Milk is actually twice as rich as ordinary bottled milk. That's because Pet Milk is good, sweet, country milk with nothing but water taken out. In fact, more than half the water is taken out of the rich country milk to make Pet evaporated milk. So you can see why Pet Milk is so right for you if you're a coffee drinker who customarily reaches for the cream. And for the same amount of money you ordinarily spend for coffee cream, you can get more than twice as much Pet Milk. So your money goes twice as far. And your coffee is creamy-colored, mellow, satisfying when you use Pet Milk. Try it, won't you? I'm sure you'll like it. Get several cans of Pet Milk at your grocer's tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to be told about the community chest, what it does and what it stands for. But we would like to remind you that the need for community chest services is greater this year than ever.
So when your volunteer chest worker knocks on your door, dig deep, won't you? And give as generously as you can. Good night.
Good night, all.
The first evaporated milk, Pet Milk, brings you Fibber, McGee, and Molly each week at this time. Be with us again next Tuesday night, won't you? Have you ever wanted to try your hand at matchmaking? Young wife Sally Carter has her chance when she introduces a home-loving bachelor to a pretty young widow. But matchmaking has its complications, and what they are you'll hear in the story of the week on Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor program next Saturday morning. You'll also hear the Pet Milk recipe of the month for Party Peach Pie, a prize dessert that calls for everyday ingredients and needs no baking. For double-rich entertainment and information, tune to NBC next Saturday morning for Pet Milk's Mary Lee Taylor.
Next is Big Town and Playhouse on Broadway on NBC.
Silver, wait those thrilling days of yesteryear with the Lone Ranger up next.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver, the Lone Ranger.
When the United States government made treaties with the Indians in the early days of the West, it did its best to be fair to the red men and reserved certain privileges for them which were denied to the white settlers. In the Oregon Territory, the Chinook Indians were given the right to fish the Columbia River, and the resentment this aroused among a class of renegade whites led to one of the masked rider of the plains' most exciting adventures. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! We're heading from the northwest! Hail, Silver! Away!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto were following a trail that led to the Columbia River. Suddenly, as they topped a rise, they saw a man sprawled on the ground ahead of them. Dismount, Tonto. That man's hurt.
Hurt plenty bad. Him Indian.
Come on. We'll see if there's anything we can do for him. He's one of the Chinooks, isn't he?
That's right.
Give him some of this.
Tonto try find out who hurt Chinook. Hone Consu. Gua Teno.
Kala Neo Pata Lono.
Can you learn his name?
Him not tell name. Him say white man kill.
White man? Could a white man do this?
That's what him say.
Help.
Help. That only white man word him know.
Raise him up. I'll try and pour more water down his throat. Well, he's no longer in pain. Did you learn anything further from him, Kimosabe?
No. Him say white man kill. We leave him here. Other Indian find dead Chinook. Then war start.
We can't leave him here. Perhaps if we give him a simple burial where he'll not be found by other Indians, whatever war he was talking about will be averted.
It good we move him. Not good bury him.
You don't think it best to bury him?
No.
Then where shall we take him?
We take that Indian to people.
Where are his people?
Tonto not know. We maybe follow trail.
Very well, Tonto. You know best. We'll get him on Silver, and I'll hold him. You lead the way and follow the trail.
That's good.
Tonto, lift him.
Yep. Now hand him here. I can't believe that white men did this. A stone hatchet or something like that was used.
That's right. You got him?
Yes. Lead the way, Tonto. I'll follow you. Two men were concealed in the underbrush at the side of the trail. And as the Lone Ranger and Tonto rode away, one of them laughed.
You heard what they said, didn't you, Steve?
Yeah, I heard, but I ain't chuckling about it. You sure they won't spoil things?
I was afeard they might when they said they was going to plant the redskin. They'd have gone through with that scheme. I was ready to drill him and lug him away. But they ain't going to. They're taking him right to his own Chinook pals.
I hope it knocks a celebration of the Chinook fishing season galley wish.
It should.
Riles me to think that them redskins are having all the fishing that they want, while white folks has to do without. We can't get fishing without paying for it.
Tain't justice.
When Oita sees that redskin dead, he'll figure his old enemy's done it.
Sure he will.
Then instead of starting out with the opening of the salmon season, Oita'll think of war, not fishing. Then we'll have the streams to our own selves while the redskins are busy fighting.
Sure a whopping smart scheme. But once we get plenty of salmon, won't have it all took away from us by redskins.
I figure if we handle things right, we can keep that war going till all the redskins get killed off by one another.
Why not? Now, come on back where we left the horses. We'll follow them, too, and make sure that they head for the village.
I sure hanker to hear what old Chief Oita'll have to say.
Feasting, dancing, and singing always marked the opening of the salmon fishing season among the Chinook Indians. But this year they had a better reason for celebrating. After a long war with their closest neighbors, The tribes were once more at peace, and
now we have many good seasons of peace, E.O. No more will we make our war with other people.
You are wise and great, O Eater. Your plan was good.
We fish this side of stream. Other people fish other side.
And Hagar was content with plan?
Hagar say plan good. Hagar feel that gods of fishing make good catch for people who live good, punish other people. Hagar not like war. Now we have peace for long time.
I hope that is for always. Still, O Eater, I have fear.
Fear in heart of wife of leader.
What if white men come to steal fish?
White man never invade Indian fishing field. It is law of white man that protect us. We have nothing to fear from white man, E.O.
O Eater, what has happened?
The feasting stopped so sudden. Why?
Is that the chief, Tonto? That him.
A white man come here.
Also Indian, but from strange tribe.
Oita, Kamutane, Lasu.
Who comes?
O Eater, look, it is
my son. He who would be leader when I die. What happened?
Oita, you speak white man's tongue?
Me speak. Him say, this dead man, his son.
We lower him to the ground. The Lone Ranger and Tonto lowered the dead man to the ground. Sorrow and anger were written on the features of the Indians, but they remained silent until suddenly, with a great sob, Io threw herself across the body of her son. A moment later, Oita knelt beside her. He touched the lifeless cheek with gentle fingers. Then, standing erect once more, but with only pride to help him in his grief, he spoke to the masked man.
Who killed?
We found that man dying on the trail, Oita. We brought him here.
Who killed?
We don't know.
You?
No, we didn't kill him.
Old enemy rise to kill. This his way to hurt Oita. Hawkaw kill.
Oita, wait. Your son said white man killed him.
Son want people live in peace. Son no peace terms made.
But he said...
Hawkaw kill. Oita no.
Oita, you wait. Not start war. Maybe you wrong.
Oita not wrong. Treaty is ended. Hawkaw want war. Hawkaw defy. Kill son. We show Hawkaw.
Tonto, what's he going to do?
Him start war dance now. You watch.
Throwing off his ceremonial band. Snatching a knife from the ground.
Him bury that knife when peace treaty made.
Waving it over his head. Now he's grabbed one of the hammers. He's going to that war drum. Tonto, this is it. I'm afraid we made a mistake.
You bring son here. You start war, I'll do.
Quick, steady there.
Me kill.
Wait, you'll hurt someone with that knife.
What can you say?
I'll try some.
I think I'll try to hurt her. Tell them in their own tongue, Tonto, that I was simply stopping her when she tried to knife us.
Not time. We got that way.
Come on then, Tonto. They're too angry to listen now.
Get him up, stout.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto raced toward the river, and when they reached its banks, headed upstream. It was not until the Chinooks had been left far behind that the masked man raised his arm in a signal to rein up. For a few minutes, Tonto, I thought one of their arrows would get us.
That's plenty close.
I wonder if now that they have an idea that we killed the leader's son, they'll forego their plans to attack that other tribe.
Tonto, think not.
They'll attack anyway? If they do, it'll mean another uprising. It might go on for years before it's settled. The last time there was a war between the tribes, a lot of damage was done to white people's towns and villages. Indians on the warpath take what they need wherever they can find it.
All right, plenty bad.
The Chinooks have their own customs and habits, and a different idea of living.
Well, what you see?
Over there.
Two feller carry something.
That's it. On the side of the hill there. What are they lugging? Look at the bright colors.
It look like totem pole.
Totem pole?
Indian here make totem pole. Them pray to totem pole.
I know, but look at the way those men are moving. I never saw Indians walk like that.
Them feller not Indian.
White men? But what are white men doing with a totem pole?
Sometime white man steal totem pole. That make Indian plenty mad. Sometime other Indians steal it. Think that hurt good luck a tribe.
Tonto, I want to know who those white men are. and why they have a Chinook totem pole.
Okay. This totem pole must weigh a ton. Almost done in with lugging.
Can't stop now, Steve. Just keep going. We'll soon be done with this here job.
The river's just ahead.
Yep. As soon as we get there, we'll throw her in. And the current will carry it right across to the Oita region.
It'll be swell if Oita don't notice it alongside the bank for a few days.
It won't take a few days for Hoggaw to miss it.
Sure not.
And when he finds her gone, he'll be plenty sore. He'll suspicion Oita right off the bat and go hunting it.
That ought to work out just right. They'll each be fighting mad at one another. Here, take a look and make sure we're leaving a trail that Hoggaw won't have no trouble in following.
We're leaving trail of plenty. Now, lower your end into the water.
There.
Give me a hand. Help me push the rest of her in.
Here, coming. Now, heave. There. Yeah, the current's got a hold of it already.
Now we'll clear out and see what happened.
That totem pole is floating right across to where Oita has his camp.
That's right.
Come on. We'll have a closer look at it. In we go, Silver, old boy. That's it, Silver. Steady now.
You want that totem pole?
Yes, I'll toss a rope around it if I can.
Careful. That long toss.
There. Got it. Now we'll see what there is to it.
Tonto, take a look. This Hoggaw totem pole.
Hoggaw?
That's right. Him feller Oita plan war on.
And if this drifts to Oita, Hoggaw will think it was stolen by him. Tonto, that Indian told the truth. It was white men who murdered him.
White men want Indian war.
That's it exactly.
Maybe we pull back, huh?
No, Tonto. I'm going to loosen the rope and let it go with the current.
Start war.
The death of that brave has already started the war. This will only add fuel to it, make Hoggaw as eager to fight as Oita.
Then we take pull back?
No, I have a plan. Look up on top of that hill.
Huh? Tonto, see?
Come on back to land. Let the totem pole go.
Steady, Scout.
Come on, Silver.
What about hill?
That's Oita's totem pole, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
All right. That's what my plan is based on. If it works, then not only will be no war, there'll be an everlasting peace between those two tribes.
And what you do?
Come on. Get on dry land, and I'll tell you. Silver! Now, Tonto.
Look. There come Hoggaw men.
I see them.
Him see trail. Come this way.
I know it. Stand your ground, Tonto.
Him think we steal. Him kill.
If they start shooting, we'll have to make a run for it. I don't want to shoot back. I don't think they'll shoot unless we reach for our guns.
Hoggaw, plenty wild. Him lead, you see?
He won't want us to die from a bullet. He'll want to capture us and torture us. So we'll suffer for stealing the totem pole.
That's right.
And that's when we'll have to talk to him and make it mighty impressive.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger drama. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments.
Now to continue our story. The Lone Ranger and Tonto, trapped between the advancing Hoggaw tribe and the stream, stood their ground while the Indians raced toward them. Hoggaw himself rode ahead, and when he had reined up in front of the masked man, accused him of stealing the totem pole.
You prisoner.
I'm nobody's prisoner. I'm here, Hoggaw, to speak to you.
You take totem pole for Oita. All gods of totem pole angry. You prisoner. You sacrifice to make gods happy. Our God take you, then make Oita suffer.
Oita does not want your totem pole. Look, see on the hill. Oita has his own totem pole.
You steal. You prisoner. Come.
Hoggaw, hear what I say. The spirit of your totem pole has words for you. There is a message. You must wait to hear it. Go. Go back where you came from. Wait there and hear the message of your spirit. Be guided by it.
You steal.
Go back. Wait.
Him not happy what you say.
Can you give him that message, Tonto? Tell him to return and wait. Tell him that he does know what I do about his tribal spirit. The spirit will bring a message to him at the next sunrise. Make him understand.
What you say? Hoggaw,
Palosa Benge, Padumatula, Maluka, Dakane, Balu, Gogola Katana Baku, Chachakula, Verne Kome, Watana.
At least you made Hogo talk it over with his braves. What did you tell him, Tonto?
Me say, him not go back. Red fire from sky explode, kill all Hogga people.
You made it pretty strong.
And Tonto make it stronger.
What are you getting from your saddlebag?
Me got signal from railroad.
A red torch.
Now, fix it. Light it. Scare Hogga plenty.
The very thing. Go on, light it. Show him the red fire.
Now. Verne Come! Verne Come!
Father Come!
So he won our point so far, Tonto.
Now what we do?
Now, Kemosabe, we're going to follow the trail of those men who brought that totem pole here.
Get him up, Scout!
Hail Silver! Hooray!
That night, the two renegade whites could hear the war drums of Oito's tribe from their camp.
You that war dancing again, Kay?
There'll be plenty of fireworks in the morning. Give them critters a night to get roused up, and they'll be ready to raise hob.
Kay,
Huh?
you hear a horse?
I wasn't noticing. Did you?
Yeah. You reckon Hogo's men have trailed us here and want us...
We're not Hogo's men.
What the... Put up hands.
Redskins. Stand up, both of you. You're coming with us. We have a job for you.
Hey, you're a white man, and masked at that. What's the idea of throwing a gun on us? We ain't redskins.
I have a pretty good idea what you are. Now come along.
For what and where to?
You'll be able to dig up the second totem pole much easier than the first. You've had some practice. Bring your spades along. You'll need them.
Now, see here, stranger. This ain't no way sociable at all.
This isn't a social visit, and we're wasting time.
Hey, I'm roped.
Hey,
let go of that rope.
Back, Silver.
Stop! I'm pulling up the chair. Let us loose there.
He gets spade.
You can walk along ahead of us or be dragged behind us. It's up to you. Come on, boy.
Let up, stranger.
I can't run like this. Look out, Steve.
Hey, you're walking on my feet.
We'll go ahead. Stop, stranger. We'll do what you say.
Get going, then.
Now, look, what's your idea anyhow?
You've been meddling with the Chinooks. Now we'll meddle.
All we want is to save the fishing for the white folks. Them Chinooks will take all the fishing if we don't.
If you're going to stand and argue, I'll drag you.
No, we're walking.
Where to? To the ford, then across the stream and up the hill to Oita's totem pole. Keep going till you get there. If you slow down, we'll drag you. Now start in.
Oh, I'm plumb out of strength. I can't stand no more.
That'll be too bad, because you'll have a hard time digging up that pole unless you stand. Start digging.
Well, we got it loose. Then what?
You'll find out. Now dig.
I'm all in it.
Dig. Now get it on your shoulders and start walking.
Oh, my sakes, I can't. I'm wore out.
You carried that other one. Now carry this one.
Stranger, I can't.
But you're going to. It's downhill to the water. Now start. If I have to haul that totem pole with my horse, I'll lash you both to it. Lift it.
But I can't.
You lift.
Look out, that knife. Come on, Kay. We ain't no choice.
Early the next morning, Oita led his men in a prayer for victory. Then, leaping to the backs of their ponies, they headed for Hogaw's village. But the Lone Ranger and Tonto had reached the village before them. Hogaw felt that he had been tricked, and at the sight of the masked man, he shouted,
"You not tell truth! Totem pole not here at sunrise. Totem spirit have no message.
The spirit has the message for you. You'll have to follow me to hear it. Bring all your braves, Hogo.
You prisoner.
Tell him in his own words, Tada.
Haga, Talusa Benge, Padumatula.
Now tell him to follow us.
Baku.
Niguma.
Baku, Haga. Baku. Gula, Paneku. Baku.
Bato.
Get him up, Scout. Hail, Silver, away!
Leading the tribe and their chief, the Lone Ranger headed for the stream, then followed it until he reached the shallow water where the great horse Silver plunged in. The Indians, close behind, splashed through the water toward the opposite shore. There a strange sight met their eyes. 2 totem poles were firmly planted on the bank. Oita's close beside Hogo's. Stand, Hogo! Stand here until Oita comes.
Oita come now. You see.
No sooner had Oita's men flashed into sight than their chief ordered them to stop. Both leaders stared at the totem poles. Tada, get close to Hogo. Interpret what I say for him. Hurry. I've got to speak before these Indians start shooting.
Come, Scout. Come.
Oita, you want war because your son is murdered. His murderers will be dealt with by the white man's law. Hogo had no part in the murder.
You enemy?
I'm no enemy, Oita. I'm friend. Friend of you and friend of Hogo. Hear me, all of you. Look at your spirits. See what has happened. The spirits were unhappy. They moved together near the water. Oita, come with me. Hogo, come. We shall go closer to the totem poles. Tonto repeated what the Lone Ranger had said in the Chinook tongue. Then the 2 chiefs rode close to the totem poles. They saw 2 white men lying on the ground in front of them, and... Don't you understand what the spirits mean to tell you? This, Hogo, is the message I told you about. There, Oita, are the men who killed your son. You see their feet? They wear Indian shoes to leave a trail that would deceive you. One of them has an Indian hatchet. The spirits have given you the murderers. They've moved together to tell you they want you and Hogo to live together in peace as long as the 2 spirits stand. Does Hogo understand, Tonto?
Tonto, tell him.
I think it'll work, Himasabi. I think our plan will work.
Hogo, go close to Oita now.
We're going to discuss it.
Spirit want 2 people live as one in peace and happiness, Oita. This is Spirit tell us that we not war.
You not want war, Hogo. My people not want war. White men bad. Make Oita think you kill son.
We not kill.
Then we live in peace.
We live, as Spirit say, together. I go tell my people.
Did they agree, Tonto?
Hogo, go now. Tell tribe.
What of them white men?
Those white men, Oita, were bad. They'll be punished by the white man's laws. We'll take them away from here with us.
You punish?
Yes.
We not fight Oita's men. We want peace, always.
Hogo people want peace. That good. Now we live in peace.
No war?
While totem poles stand side by side, Oita and Hogo never fight.
Then go and tell your people they can return to fishing.
I go.
Take one of those white men, Tonto. Take him on your horse. He can't walk anymore. I'll take the other. The Indians are at peace. Now to take care of these crooks.
Now we're ready.
I'll be right with you.
They won't kill us?
You did well. You'd said a word or made a move. I think I'd have turned you over to those Indians to be punished in their way. Instead, you're going to be tried before a white man's court.
Oh, now look, mister. We worked like slaves the whole of the night. We're all done in.
Get on my horse.
But look here. Oh, I can hardly move.
You killed an Indian and very nearly started a war. Aside from everything else, you 2 have a murder to account for. You gave me your confession.
I know, but we worked.
The work was for your plan to start trouble. You paid your debt for stealing Hogo's totem pole. But you still have another debt to pay. We're going to town, and you can argue with the law.
Steve, Don't give that critter no argument. After working for him, a jail with a place to sleep will sure seem good. Hail, Silver! Away!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
Hunt the biggest of all game with the Green Hornet and Cato coming up next.
The Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies who try to destroy our America. With his faithful Filipino valet, Cato, Britt Reed, daring young publisher, matches wits with racketeers and saboteurs, risking his life that criminals and enemy spies will feel the weight of the law by the sting of the Green Hornet.
And now, tonight's episode of The Green Hornet.
Lenora Case, secretary to Britt Reed, publisher of the Daily Sentinel, looked up as Michael Axford warily entered the office and sank with a sigh of relief into a chair.
Me poor feet are killing me, that they are, Casey. And they caught me such a cold I could hardly talk.
What on earth have you been doing all afternoon, Axford? What made you so tired?
Walking, Casey. Walking me legs off trying to check up on them 20 neediest families the Daily Sentinel took care of last Christmas. It was Reed's idea that we should find out how they're making out this year.
Well, what did you find out about?
Well, that's just it, Casey. Would you believe it? I went to 9 of them places. Most of them are better off than I am myself.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, just that. 6 of the families I visited were living in solid comfort, with the houses fixed up, plenty of food and stuff like that.
Really? Well, it's strange. As I remember, each of those 20 families was in dire need a year ago. Most of them have been on our list for several years.
You're sure you're not telling me a thing I don't know, Casey? But someone seemed to have struck it lucky somehow during the past year. So they won't be needing our help any longer.
Well, I'm glad they've been so fortunate, even if I can't understand how it happened.
Yes. Then go down to the city room. If Reed wants me, he can let me know.
Oh, wait a minute, Axford.
What do you want?
Do you have a list of the families you visited?
Oh, sure. They got it right here. There you are.
Oh, thanks.
The ones with the little crosses beside them were the families that seem to have plenty of dough to get along on.
Oh, good. I'll give this list to Mr. Reed.
Do what you like with it, but I'm through trapping around. If he can't take it.
Oh, that's too bad. There's such nice big ones, too.
You and your corny jokes. You get that, Casey? Big feet, corny jokes. That's a snappy comeback for you.
You get out of here. Oh, what a guy. Well, I'll take this list into Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed.
What is it, Miss Casey?
Ashford came in and brought this list with him.
A list?
Yes. Mr. Gunnigan sent him out to investigate the 20 neediest families. The ones from the Sentinel helped last year.
Oh, yes.
And this is a list of the families that Ashford visited this afternoon. 9 of them. There's something about that list that's peculiar.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, those names marked with little crosses seem to have struck it rich, according to Ashford. At least they're all living in solid comfort.
Really? Let's see. Oh, yeah. There's 6 names marked that way.
That's right.
Now, tell me, do you still have the case histories on these families?
Yes, sir. I have them in my files.
Well, leave them on my desk in the morning. I'll go over them when I get a chance. Oh, by the way, you might as well read out those Ashford found in good condition. They won't be needing our help this Christmas.
All right. You know, it seems strange to me that 6 of the neediest families a year ago managed to come out so well this year.
Well, personally, I'm glad to know they could do it.
Oh, I am, too. I was just surprised, that's all.
Well, they probably had more gumption than the rest. Some of those families have been on our list for several years.
I know. And I'll be interested to find out if any of the fortunate 6 have been on our list for any length of time.
Oh, so will I. Well, I'm going to call it a day in this case. I'll see you in the morning.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Good morning, Reed. What do you think about Spencer? Was in the morning edition.
Ray Spencer, the big shot racketeer? What about him?
Well, you know, the cops picked him up for questioning about that payroll holdup.
I know.
For a while there, it looked like they had the goods on Spencer. There was a witness who took the number and description of the holdup car as they left the scene, and it was traced to Spencer. Sure, he claimed his car had been stolen. No one believed that, Chief. That is, no one believed it till last night, Reed, when the cops were tipped off that some bum was flashing a big roller door in a Water Street bar. That's right, Chief. When they picked up the bum, the cops found some of the payroll checks on him. He confessed to the holdup. Sure, and that let Spencer in the clear.
After all, if Spencer was innocent...
Innocent ain't the word to use for that guy, Reed. Maybe he didn't pull the holdup job, but to my way of thinking, he's done a lot he's managed to get out of. He's a smooth one, that Spencer.
He sure is, Mike. He came out of prison with nothing. Yet within a year he buys a big nightclub and seems to have money to burn. Where it all came from is a mystery.
This city could do well without men like Spencer. There doesn't seem to be anything that we can do with him. Seems to keep within the law.
Well, he'll make a slip someday, mark my words. Well, I'm going on down to cops' headquarters. Later. So long.
Meanwhile, in another part of the city, Ray Spencer sat at his desk in the office of his nightclub, talking to one of his henchmen.
Well, Virgil, we put it over again. I must admit you're smart enough at times, even though you do talk like a dope.
Oh, Chief, boy, thanks for the compliment.
Don't mention it.
No, I won't tell nobody if you say so. I never tell nothing you don't want me to.
Give it, Virgil, give it. Here. Take this over to Maggie Hooker.
Yeah, sure.
Tell her she'll get the same amount this time next week.
Okay.
How about the others? You get their dough to them all right?
Yeah. They all beat me like I was Santa Claus or something every time I go with the dough. Hey, do you have to pay out all that moolah every week, boss?
Absolutely, Virgil. If I don't keep my bargain with them, they might squeal, and that would be the end. Both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. That wouldn't be so good, would it?
What do you think? You already did a stretch in the pen, so you ought to know.
Yeah. You know, somehow I didn't like it. I couldn't do what I wanted to. And they wouldn't let me go no place either.
That happens to be the policy of prisons, Virgil. Get going before Maggie Hooker thinks we're giving her husband the double cross.
I don't trust dames nohow. I ain't never had no luck with them.
Really?
Yeah.
I just can't imagine why, Virgil. Go on, get started.
Sure, okay, boys.
Hurry back. I have other things for you to do.
I'll be right back, boys.
I brought in the letters you dictated this morning, Mr. Reed, and if you'll sign them now, I'll get them right out.
All right. I'm glad you finished them. I'd like to have you do something this afternoon.
Well, what is it?
Well, since Ashford gave up on those neediest families, I thought perhaps you could visit a few of the ones he didn't get to. Take a cab and turn in an expense account.
Oh, fine. friends. I'd like getting out for a while. Is there anything you want me to do here before I leave?
Well, no. If you see 2 or 3 this afternoon, we'll have someone else finish the visits tomorrow. You'd better leave right away.
Yes, sir. I'll leave right now. And I'll be back before 5 o'clock. Wait for me, please.
Okay, lady. Looking for somebody, lady?
Yes. So Mr. and Mrs. Marty Hooker live in this building?
Yeah, right down them steps. They live in the basement flat. Oh, you won't find Marty there.
No?
No, he got picked up for pulling that big payroll hold-up. Been in all the papers. Confessed he done it. I'll get this old lady's home, though. Right down them steps like I told you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, good the ball here. Look, they get the boys to get out of
What can I do for you, dearie? Are you Mrs. Hooker? Who wants to know? I'm from the Daily Sentinel. About the Christmas donation, you know. You were on our list last year. That. Come on in, dearie. Well, things are kind of mucked up a wee bit, but with the baby and all, and the old man being in trouble. I understand. I'm sorry about your husband. You can count on the Sentinel to do all this. Bless your heart, dearie, but we won't be needing to take your help. This place is terribly cold, and, well, with the baby and all, I'm sure you'll be that as bad as they look, that they ain't. Before the week's out, I'll be leaving this hovel for a nice flat on the west side. From now on, Magee Hooker and the baby will be living in comfort. That we will, dearie. I'm glad to hear it, but I can see it in your eyes. You think I'm talking a bit of blimey. Be praised is the truth when I say we'll be living better without that no-good Marty than we ever lived with him around. Someone's offered to help you, then? Well, there's a weekly income that's been arranged. A distant relative who came into plenty of money. Oh? Now, don't you worry your pretty head about Magee Hooker, dearie. And you can tell your newspaper we'll be needing their help no longer, thank heaven. I see. Well, thanks for seeing me, Mrs. Hooker, and I'm really glad things are going to be better for you. Sure, and after I get settled in the new place, me up and drop in for a cup of tea. Thankful I am for what you did last year. Goodbye, dear. Goodbye.
It's Casey now, Reed.
Well, hello, Axford. I guess I'm later than I intended to be, Mr. Reed.
We were just beginning to worry about you, Miss Case. It's almost 6 o'clock. How did you make out?
All right. I went to 4 places. 3 of them are in just as bad condition as they were last year. The other one, though, won't need help this year.
Well, that's another one to cross off the list, then. Now, what's the name?
Hooker. The family of Marty Hooker. Mrs. Hooker says she's comfortably fixed from now on, and she intends to move to the west side. Her husband's in jail, I understand.
Marty Hooker, did you say?
Yes.
Hey, Reed, come to think of it, 'twas Marty Hooker who confessed to that payroll hold-up they tried to pin on Ray Spencer and his gang.
Really?
Marty Hooker's his name, sure as I'm sitting here.
Well, Miss Case, did Mrs. Hooker say where she was getting the money?
Well, she was rather cagey about it. She said a distant relative decided to arrange a weekly income for her and the baby.
Well, let's see that list. Well, according to this, Hookers have been among the neediest families for the past 3 years. This windfall from that distant relative is rather sudden, it seems to me.
It is that.
Moreover, I've been checking this afternoon on those whom Axford reported as being in comfortable circumstances.
Well, what did you find out, Mr. Reed?
I discovered that in each of those cases, the husband is in prison, each one having confessed to a crime.
You don't say. That's sure a coincidence, isn't it?
Well, it seems mighty funny to me.
Yes. It might not be a coincidence, actually.
What then?
Well, if I knew, I'd tell you.
Say no. Maybe I'd better tip Sarge off to do a little investigating. To my way of thinking, all them guys that went to jail were in the same gang. And their wives know where they left some hidden stolen money.
Oh, there you are. That settles the whole thing.
Well, not exactly. As a matter of fact, though, there may be some connection between all those confessed crooks and some one man or some group on the outside.
You got something there, Reed?
Well, maybe.
Mr. Reed, I was just thinking.
Go on, Miss Case.
Well, wasn't that racketeer Ray Spencer involved in the payroll hold-up case before Hooker confessed?
Holy cow. Do you think Spencer's pulling something, Reed?
Well, what I think doesn't matter. The main thing is that the police get proof. And from what I've learned about Ray Spencer, If he is connected with Hooker and the others, getting proof against him is not going to be easy. We'll continue our Green Hornet adventure in just a moment. After finding out that several men from the neediest families in the city had confessed to crimes and gone to prison, with the result that their families began receiving money, Britt Reed, young publisher of the Daily Sentinel, waited patiently for the result of the police investigation. It was several days later when Axford phoned from police headquarters. Hello?
This is Axford.
What's up?
I'm down at Cops headquarters. I was just talking to Sarge about that investigation.
What's the result?
Reed, I can't get anything out of any of those people. And Ray Spencer is laughing in their faces when they question him.
Well, Spencer may not be involved, but if he is, as I said before, getting proof will not be easy.
Sarge says he thinks there's something funny about the whole setup, too. But it's all so tight they can't break it.
I see. Well, if they do get any sort of a lead, let me know.
Sure, Reed, that I will. See you later. So long.
Goodbye, Axford. Looks like it will take unorthodox methods. I'll call Cato on the private line.
Mr. O'Leary's apartment?
Cato, I have a job for you to do.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Britt. What I to do?
You know Ray Spencer?
Ray Spencer? I see his picture in paper often. He owns Nightingale Club.
Right. And he has his office there. I want you to take the small coupe and go over there, shadow Spencer. Get to know by sight the men close to him. Be careful.
What I try to find out?
Find out if Spencer or one of his men pays a weekly visit to the slum district.
Yes, sir. I watch carefully.
Good. Report to me as soon as you find out anything. Goodbye, Cato.
Goodbye, Mr. Britt.
It was almost 6 o'clock the following afternoon when Britt Reed returned to his office from a board meeting at the Civic Club. Any messages for me, Miss Case?
Yes, sir. Cato phoned and said to tell you that he had a very special dinner waiting for you tonight and wants you to be sure and come home.
Oh, fine. Anything else?
These letters are to be answered.
Well, they can wait.
And Axford phoned with a brilliant idea.
Well, let's have it.
Well, he wants money to buy toys and to hire a Santa Claus outfit so he can appear as Santa at the settlement house on Christmas Eve.
That I'd like to see. His way with children will make up for the Irish brogue, though. Tell him to go to it.
And last but not least, Gunnigan's been asking for you. He wants to discuss a new setup for the city page.
Well, tell Gunnigan to work it out to suit himself. I'm tired. I'm going home. I'll see you in the morning, Miss Case.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night. Britt Reed went to his apartment where Cato, his faithful Filipino valet, and the only person knowing his identity as the Green Hornet, was waiting. All right, Cato, let's have it. What did you find out?
I find out big man who have flat nose and big ears always with Spencer.
Bodyguard, perhaps?
That's what I think. This afternoon, this man, whom I learn go by name of Virgil, leave office and go to slum area. I follow.
Good. Where did he stop?
He go 2 places. I have names and addresses here. The last place he go is out on west side of city.
Let's see those names. Mrs. Tony Coretta, Water Street. And Mrs. Marty Hooker, West End Avenue. Cato, you really did get something.
You recognize names, Mr. Britt?
Yes. Both of these names were on our neediest families list last year. Both Tony Coretta and Marty Hooker are in prison. And both their families are living comfortably.
What all that means?
It means Ray Spencer is involved in a deal somewhere. And I have a pretty good idea about the party place. The police can't go around the law to force the issue, but the Green Hornet can. Let's go. Stepping through a secret panel in the rear of a closet in his bedroom, Britt Reed and Cato went along a narrow passageway built within the walls of the apartment itself. This building led to an adjoining building, which fronted on a dark side street. Though supposedly abandoned, this building served as a hiding place for the sleek, superpowered Black Beauty, streamlined car of the Green Hornet. Britt Reed pressed a button. The great car roared into life. A section of the wall in front raised automatically, then closed as the gleaming Black Beauty sped into the darkness.
we go, Mr. Britt?
But first, we'll go to Mrs. Coretta's and Mrs. Hooker's.
Well, Mrs. Coretta live in the middle of next block.
Turn off into the back alley. Then we'll head for Hooker's. If they react the way I think they will, Ray Spencer will be stopped once and for all. Mrs. Coretta?
Maria Coretta, that's me. It's dark in the hall, but why you asking for me?
I'll come inside.
No. You'll not come in like that. That mask, it's not good. Please, you're not
I won't hurt you if
me.
you do what I say. Give me the money you received this afternoon.
Oh, you're making a mistake. I know to get the money.
Give it to me.
Oh, sure, I give it. It's in your bag. You just not good, Maria. I get it.
All right, give it here.
Maria, she not having the money for us to live.
If you have any complaints, tell them to the man who sent me. Mr. Ray Spencer.
Spencer? He sent you here?
You heard me. I'll leave now.
That's a big Spencer. He pulled the double cross. Double on my Tony. I make him sorry. I'm going to tell him my Tony tonight. You've got nothing to be crying about this night. Now, hush. Sure, now. You've got to understand every word I've been saying. I'll be thinking... Glory be. Now, who can be calling at a time like this? Praise to the devil himself. Not a cloven foot will you be sitting in my house.
I'm already inside. Close the door.
Sure, and I know you're that Green Hornet, but isn't Magee Hooky you're backing up against it?
Give me the money you received a while ago.
So that's it, is it? Well, not a penny will I be given to the likes of you, so you can be taking yourself out of here right now.
I'd hate to use this gun on a woman. But if you don't...
Merciful heavens, I believe you would.
I'm waiting.
All right. I'll be giving it to you.
Hurry.
Now, quiet, you spalpeen. You can have the money. But if you're scared that innocent little babe, I'll be tearing you apart, gun or no gun. Here's the money, you thieving devil.
Thanks. Spencer said it would be easy to get.
Hold on. Did I hear you speak of Mr. Spencer?
Yes, you heard me.
So he sent you here. Oh, 'tis a filthy game to be playing on me poor husband. But to St. Pat will bear me witness, I'll turn that Spencer into the law. And you're with him, that I will. I'll call me friend Cassidy at headquarters right now. George, you will.
Time for me to go. Good night, Mrs. Hooker.
Is that you, Mr. Britt?
Yes, Cato. My plan's working out. Let's get moving. Where do we go next? I have a few more places to visit. Tomorrow, Cato, after things quiet down, you can mail the money I'm taking back to each of those women. After that, the Sentinel will see to it that none of them are suffering. Step on it. Through one dark back street of the city after another, the sleek car of the Green Hornet moved like a great purring shadow. Frequent stops were made until finally, each of the places listed on a paper in Britt Reed's pocket had been visited. Then Britt and Cato returned to the apartment to await results. It was after midnight when Sergeant Burke entered the press room at police headquarters.
What's the news, Sarge? Is there anything to it all?
Plenty, expert. You did well to hang around instead of going out with the other seat.
Give it to me, then.
Hold your horses. I got to send a couple of the boys out. Cassidy.
Yes, Sarge?
Take one of the boys with you and pick up Ray Spencer.
Okay, right away.
Ray Spencer? Why are you picking him up?
We got a call from several women who claimed the Hornet came there and took back money Spencer was paying them. This is a bargain he made with their husbands.
What do you mean?
Spencer pulled jobs like that payroll holdup. Then got some poor starving guy with a family to take the rap. In return, he promised to pay a weekly sum to the wife. Get it?
Holy crow.
We got word that several of the guys have already seen the prison warden and retracted their confessions, putting the blame on Spencer.
Wait, I got to call Reed. Wait till he hears this. Boy, I've got a scoop this time. So he thinks I don't bring in any news, huh? He'll find out.
I bet he's sleeping.
So what? Reed, this is Ashford.
I might have known.
Just when I get to sleep, you answer.
Hold on, Reed. The cops are picking up Ray Spencer. He paid a lot of guys to go to jail for him. You know, those poor guys whose families were on our list.
Well, what do you know?
It was the Green Hornet working with Spencer who broke things open. He went to take back the dough from the families, the women squawked, and then the cops found out that the guys were...
The story to rerun.
Well, not yet, but I'm going...
Santa Claus, you're wasting time. Get the story in.
Sure, Reed, but I'm trying to...
Did they pick up the Hornet yet?
The Hornet? Now, hold on, Reed. Don't you know it's a tough fight?
Call me when they do. Good night.
Reed, I want to... Hang up on you. Did they pick up the Hornet yet, he says. Then call me when they do. Boy, sometimes I think Reed's losing what little part of mind he has. That I do.
You'll lose what little job you have if you don't get that story into the Sentinel.
Holy crow. Give me that phone, quick.
Exciting story of the Green Hornet.
Crime doesn't stand a chance against Dick Tracy. Up next.
And now, Dick Tracy. This is Dick Tracy on the case of the careless crooner. Stand by for action. Let's go, men. Yes, it's Dick Tracy, protector of law and order. How many of you Tracy fans know what ornithology is? Well, it's the study of birds. And exactly 163 years ago today, one of America's best-known ornithologists was born. His name, John James Audubon. But he wasn't born in the U.S. His birthplace was Les Cayes in what is now the Republic of Haiti. And he was educated in France. His father, a French Navy captain, had commanded a naval vessel at the Battle of Yorktown during the Revolutionary War and had acquired a farm near Philadelphia. There, Audubon spent 10 years collecting birds and making sketches of them. His interest in birds served him well because when he was about 40 years old, he met Alexander Wilson, known as the father of American ornithology. Wilson was trying to publish a book describing American birds, and his drawings were rather crude. Well, this gave Audubon the idea of publishing his own book, which he did the following year. All of you have no doubt seen Audubon's pictures of birds. Some of you are members of one of America's 3,500 junior Audubon clubs. These and our various Audubon societies were all named after the man whose birthday anniversary we observe today, John James Audubon. And now, here is Dick Tracy.
Now, about this job of being a detective. I promised I'd take you with me, and we'd try and work out this blackmail case from the very beginning. You remember that Iris Ashland came to me and asked me to recover some letters for her. These letters had been written by her younger sister in a silly moment to a crooner named Artie Choate. And Choate was just the kind of heel who would threaten to reveal the contents of the letters to the public and cause a scandal. As Iris Ashland explained to me...
My younger sister, Joan, is now engaged to marry a very fine young man of good family. If he or his parents should learn that Joan wrote silly love letters to Artie Choate, well, the engagement would be off. So I want you to go to that miserable crooner and buy the letters. I don't care how you get them, but get them.
But it was no go. Artie Choate told me to go fly my kite. The letters were his, all 6 of them, and he'd do business when he got good and ready. So Pat Patton and I dropped over to have another talk with Miss Ashland. If Choate wouldn't play ball, there was very little anybody could do.
Oh, yes, there is something somebody can do. I'm not going to let him ruin my sister's life.
Oh, come now.
And that's exactly what he'll do. He's a mean, nasty little worm. Oh, yes, the Bobby Soxers swoon in the aisles when he sings. But you know and I know he has a disposition like a...
That he has, Miss Ashland. He's a bad boy. But we can't take a few love letters away from him by force, now can we?
Well,
and he doesn't want to sell them. He says. So our hands are tied.
Perhaps your hands are tied, but not mine. There are ways of shutting Mr. Choate up.
Oh, sure. Many's the time I've turned him off on my radio. But this is different.
Do you see this?
Oh, no, Miss Ashland. You're surely not so desperate that you'd...
Have you a permit for this gun?
Yes, I have a permit for this gun, and I know how to use it, too. If you men can't make Artie Choate see the light, if you can't convince him to give up Joan's letters and stop threatening her happiness, then I'll...
Now, wait. Wait. Let's not be hasty.
Hasty?
I said let's not be hasty. Now, I've been to see Choate.
And got exactly nowhere.
Will you listen a moment? And put that gun away. No, not back in your purse. In the desk drawer.
All right. But I don't like the way you...
You came to me and asked me to handle this problem for you. It isn't in my line of work, but because of my friendship for your father, because of his memory, I agreed to help you and your sister. But either you let me handle this in my own way, or I'll withdraw from the case. And I won't have you waving a gun around and threatening. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right, then. Now, I'm going to have another try at Artie Choate.
That's a good idea. Catch him when he's in a more cheerful mood. Although I doubt if he ever is.
And I must ask you to stay out of this, Miss Ashland. And I want your sister Joan to keep in the background, too. By the way, is she here in the apartment? I'd like to talk to her.
Joan is up in the country at a house party. She won't be back tonight.
Well, you tell her to keep on staying away and not to meddle in this. And I'll try my luck with Choate again about 2 o'clock in the morning.
But why visit a fella like Artie the crooner at 2 bells in the a.m.? We ought to be in bed asleep like decent people.
Well, Pat, Choate and his band are playing at the Belshazzar Hotel. They don't play Home Sweet Home until 1 a.m. So I figure we can drop in at Choate's apartment about 2. Might be a good time.
Well, I'm not a night owl, Richard. I like to keep regular hours. But business before pleasure, I suppose. So let's find a taxi and ride up to his place in a wee small
No, 2 a.m. isn't exactly business hours. But musicians aren't exactly business people. That goes for singers, too. The kind who cry into a microphone. So Pat and I took a cab up to the Choate apartment building and got out. As we stood on the sidewalk under a streetlight, a fella came along with a large paper bag in his arms. When he got closer, I recognized him. He was Bells Jackson, the piano player for Choate's band. He saw us and stopped.
Hey, Jack, where's the fire? I wish I had time. I'd go for fires.
Oh, hello there. You're Mr. Jackson.
Huh?
What fire?
Didn't you hear the sirens just now?
No, you mean just now?
Yeah, sure. Clanging along down the street there.
Well, I'm sorry we missed the excitement. Is your boss in?
Boss? Oh, you mean Artie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he's in.
You remember me, don't you? My name's Tracy, and this is Mr. Patton.
You want to see Artie?
Mm-hmm.
He's not in a very good mood.
Is he ever in a very good mood?
He's hungry. Sometimes after he eats, he's like he used to be. I've been out getting some hamburgers.
Well, fine. Then we'll just go up to the apartment with you. You live up there with Choate?
Oh, no. But I have to look after the band's music, keep it up to date. I make the arrangements and a lot of other things.
Isn't it a bit late to be fooling around with music, Mr. Jackson?
Oh, this is special. Tonight was our last night.
How do you mean?
We finished at the Belshazzar Hotel. We have 2 weeks to lay off.
Oh. Well, then Mr. Choate ought to be in a good frame of mind with 2 weeks vacation ahead of him.
Yeah, that's right. He ought to... Somebody ought to answer that.
Answer what?
That telephone. It's ringing someplace in this building.
I don't hear any bell ringing. Do you, Dick?
No, but then perhaps Mr. Jackson has keener ears than we have.
Wait a minute. Oh, it stopped now. Okay, let's go up to the 5th floor. Just push number 5 button.
Okay.
Looks to me as if you're also the handyman for Mr. Choate, playing the piano, working on music, and running out for hamburgers and stuff.
I don't mind.
What's Choate going to do with his 2-week holiday?
I don't know. I think he's going hunting someplace.
Hunting?
Uh-huh.
In the spring? In April?
I think he was going down south someplace. Yeah, hunting. He was cleaning a revolver. Yeah, he must have been going out to kill something. You do that with a revolver, you know.
What can you hunt with a revolver?
I don't know all the answers, Pat, but...
I remember now. You guys were up here this afternoon.
That's right. Say, by the way, what's your first name?
Horace. Horace Jackson. Nearly everybody calls me Bells.
Bells? Why do they call you...
Oh, yeah. They say I hear bells and gongs and things. They say I hear squad car sirens and... No, they're only fooling. I'm a good piano player. They all admit that. All of them. Oh, solid. Come on in. The door's unlocked. Just go on right in. Artie's in the front room. Oh, this way. We're going this way. I hope he won't be angry with me for bringing you up here.
Steady, boys, steady.
Artie, I hope you won't mind, but these men were just... Artie, you asleep? Hey, what's the matter?
Stand back from there. Stand back. Artie Choate isn't asleep.
Huh?
He's dead.
Dead, you say? Well, how could he be? I mean... Yeah. Yeah, he is. With a bullet in his head. Dead.
Artie's dead?
Yes, he's got himself a vacation, all right. A nice, long vacation. But even from where I stand, I can tell one thing is certain. This wasn't an accident. This is murder.
It's the telephone. You can hear it, can't you? Right there on the desk.
Yes, I hear it.
Well, why don't you answer it? Don't let it ring. Don't let it ring.
I'll answer it, but I want to use my handkerchief to cover the receiver. There may be fingerprints and... Hello? Hello? Whoever it was hung up.
It's murder, all right, Dick. No man could do away with himself like this.
I thought he was asleep across the desk. He looks like he's asleep, doesn't he? But here's the gun. The one he was cleaning right here on the desk.
Stay away from there. I don't want anything touched. This is a job for homicide. Pat?
Yeah, I know. I make the calls. Is there an extension phone in this apartment, Bells? Mr. Jackson?
Huh? Extension?
Yes. Is there another telephone? I don't want to use this one.
Oh, yeah. In his bedroom, by the bed.
Lead the way. I'll try to get Lieutenant Berkey. He ought to be on the early morning.
Well, what started out to be a simple job of buying a few old love letters back from a man has turned into murder. And right now, you know as much about the case as I do. It was certainly quite a shock to find Artie Choate sprawled across the library desk, dead. There was a revolver on the desk, too. But I didn't touch it. The first rule is not to touch anything. To call the police. If you do anything else, you just get yourself into trouble. Now then, I want you to be with me when the next step is taken. And tomorrow I'll give you the ABCs of a detective's thinking. So let's get on this case and solve it quickly.
In a minute, we'll return to Dick Tracy. But first, what will it be like for a couple to go to the movies in 1955? You'll hear the hilarious answer to this momentous question on this Wednesday night's Great Bing Crosby Show. You see, the question comes up when Bing and his glamorous guest star, movie queen Claudette Colbert, exchange quips over conditions in theater lobbies. Their humorous repartee leads into a laugh-packed sketch in which the groaner and Claudette play a couple about to visit the Flickers 7 years from now. On Wednesday night's show, the lovely Miss Colbert will also be given the chance to sing as she and Bing join voices in You Are Too Dangerous, Cherie, a song they'll do in French. As usual, Bing will delight you with a few solos, the same being the Thousand Islands song, A Friendly Mountain, and I May Be Wrong. He'll be backed by the fine harmony of the Rhythmaires and the wonderful music of John Scott Trotter's orchestra. You're sure to enjoy every minute of this Bing Crosby show, guest starring Claudette Colbert. So, Tracy fans, remember to be on hand this Wednesday night at 10 o'clock in the East and 9 o'clock elsewhere, when the Bing Crosby Show is on the air over most ABC stations. And now, back to Dick Tracy.
Yeah, I got hold of Lieutenant Berkey, Dick. He'll be right along.
Good. This is a job for homicide, Pat. We better not mix in.
Yeah, but we're already mixed in. We can't just say we were standing here waiting for a streetcar.
No, we'll have to explain our connection, of course. Meanwhile, let's have a talk with Bells Jackson. I'd like to get his story.
There's a thrill and plenty of inside detective tips on this case of the careless crooner. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for the adventures of Dick Tracy, featuring Jeff Morrow and Carl Eastman. And this is George Gunn speaking. There's no business like show business, especially when you have two top comedians like Abbott and Costello in their own funny show every Wednesday night. Yes, this famous madcap couple carry on in a strictly wacky vein on their ABC program each Wednesday, with Lou Costello giving out with his famous bad boy routine. His partner, Bud Abbott, acts as foil to Lou's shenanigans. Abbott and Costello bring their usual contagious brand of humor to their ABC Wednesday Night Fun Fest, aided and abetted by singer Susan Miller and Matty Malnick's orchestra. For a carload of laughs, don't forget the Abbott and Costello Show, when it's heard every Wednesday night over most of these same ABC stations. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. This is ABC.
One of old-time radio's longest-running and most popular programs, CBS Mystery Theater, is up next.
If you love spaghetti like I love spaghetti, I know what you're looking for. So come on, get ready for great spaghetti at the spaghetti store. If you want spaghetti, the best spaghetti, you don't have to look no more. Get your taste buds ready for great spaghetti at the spaghetti store.
I really think they ought to change the name of the spaghetti store.
But the spaghetti store serves 6 different kinds of spaghetti dinners from $2.10 to $2.85.
They should change the name to the spaghetti and ravioli and lasagna and steak and hamburger and sausage and sandwich store.
They have all those things?
And more.
But that name would be a little hard to remember, don't you think?
The name might be hard to remember, but the food unforgettable.
So when you come in, bring your appetite. There's one thing you know for sure. Great spaghetti we've got, and it don't cost a lot at the spaghetti store.
2731 West Northwest Highway. Also Arlington and Fort Worth.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the world of terrifying imagination. Once upon a time, there was a poor and common man named Matthew Mall, who owned a couple of acres that were desired by a rich and titled man named Colonel Pinchian, who wished to build a house on the property. Since the colonel could not acquire the land by lawful means, he took others. The year was 1650, and he connived to have Matthew Mall declared a wizard, condemned to die on the scaffold, which is where our story begins.
Quiet! You have not heard the last of Matthew Mall. You or your children, or your children's children. In particular, you, Colonel Pynchon, and all the family who follows you. Look at him, everyone, as a dying man makes a promise. Colonel Pynchon, God will give you and yours blood to drink.
This is the story of my long revenge, which began with the moment my adversary first entered his new-built house, with his portrait locked into the paneling above his desk chair. For there, the first of the Pynchons, the Colonel Pynchon who sent me to my death, was found dead, drowned in his own blood. The doctors called it apoplexy, but we know better. Death brought him blood to drink, the first of much, for his house was doomed.
mystery drama, The House of the Seven Gables, was especially adapted from the Nathaniel Hawthorne classic for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Norman Rose. It is sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the Sinus Medicines, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Buick introduces a new concept for you to consider in light of all the concern about miles per gallon. Range. Range is what you get when you multiply the mileage your car gets per gallon by the number of gallons your car's gas tank holds. Range is one of the things that help make Buick Apollo such a special small car. It comes from coupling the Apollo's economical 6-cylinder engine with a standard 21-gallon gas tank. It holds a lot, but it doesn't use a lot. Look into the Apollo. It's the Buick of small cars.
Hello, this is Goldilocks. It seems like only yesterday that I was a little girl tasting porridge. You know, this one's too hot. This one's too cold. And now I conduct taste tests on diet drinks. And there's one I must tell you about. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up. It has a fresh, natural, delicious taste. It drives my taste-o-meter crazy. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up. This one's just right.
George Washington?
Yes.
What is your favorite American food?
La Choy Oriental Vegetables.
La Choy?
The father of our Oriental vegetables.
Oriental vegetables?
Bean sprouts, water chestnuts, chop suey vegetables, delicious.
What do you do with
You toss them.
Across the Potomac?
In a salad.
Oh, yes.
Or mix La Choy Oriental vegetables right in with ground beef when you make burgers. That's my favorite. A meal fit for a king. Oh, I didn't mean a king. I meant what do you call it? What I am. You know, not a prime minister, not a...
La Choy makes Chinese food. Swing American.
You stand alone and wait. She's 20 minutes late. She'll find a smile will go a long, long way.
Smiles go a long, long way with Kodak's Pocket Smile Saver Kit. You get a Pocket Instamatic camera, color film, Magic Cube, extender, and more for less than $30. All at your photo dealers for a limited time only.
A smile stays lit with our Smile Saver Kit. You'll see a smile will go a long, long way.
From Kodak.
Halfway down a by street in one of our New England towns stands a rusty wooden house with 7 acutely peaked gables facing towards various points of the compass and a huge clustered chimney in the midst. So begins the second novel written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And to tell you the rest of it, here's the tortured, uneasy spirit of the wizard Matthew Mall, who died before his time and left a curse that endured for over 2 centuries.
38 years in my grave, and yet I rise from it as casually as an ordinary man from his bed. I am seen as easily at noon as I am by the witching hour. I am an extraordinarily pestilent ghost, and I have left an estate which will mangle and torture and destroy at last the whole clan of Pinchins. Shall we take a case in point?
Yes? Well, what is it?
You sent for me, Mr. Pynchon. The name is Matthew Mall, son of him who built this house for your grandfather. Grandson of the rightful proprietor of your soil.
Oh, the ancient dispute. That matter has been settled by competent legal authorities.
In favor of the family Pynchon.
Self-evidently. I am in residence and you are not.
Then stay here and rot.
A moment, Mr. Mall. Will you attend me in the living room?
At your request. To what purpose?
Well, perhaps to our mutual interest. There's a legend that my family, that, to be precise, the same Colonel Pynchon who looks down on us from above the living room fireplace here, had a deed to certain vast real estate holdings from an Indian grant. Holdings of incalculable value.
I've heard the story.
Are you also aware that in the settlement of the estate, No deed was found to lay claim to them?
Oh, yes.
But his claim was on the verge of settlement when my grandfather died suddenly.
In answer to my grandfather's curse.
Of apoplexy.
Which is, in non-medical terms, not far from literally drinking one's own blood.
I did not bid you here to renew old quarrels, simply to make you a proposition.
Very well, I'm listening.
There's a rumor that whatever quarrel lay between our ancestors, yours was the one made the best bargain in the long run.
By being hanged?
However he died, he was only a step or two ahead of the colonel. For while the colonel won out in buying and owning the land Seven Gables stands on, he lost a kingdom when the deed to half the state of Massachusetts was lost. Or hidden.
Mr. Pynchon, what is your proposition?
Your father was the architect of this house. He might have secreted the papers somewhere or built some hidden chamber for them, which my ancestor, Colonel Pynchon, died too suddenly to reveal. I would be willing to pay well for information leading to them.
I cannot believe the Colonel would have concealed something that was not his to hide. But there might be a chance for you to recover those papers. How? I'll make a contract with you. This house and the property for the papers if I can locate them.
No, damn me, if I'll permit it. Did you say something, sir?
No.
Why? Well, I could have sworn I heard a voice. Well, I'll meet your bargain if you can find the Indian grant.
I'll need some help. I don't know where the papers are, or if they exist. I do know that to locate them, I need the help of a medium.
I don't understand.
You have a young daughter named Alice. Bring her here. From outside the oriel window, hoard with frost against the roaring fire within, I watched my grandson toy with this Pynchon, whose only desire was to flee the dread house and live abroad. And by virtue of my right as a man taken before his time, I kept invading Matthew's mind and making it mine as far as I desired.
My daughter, Alice, may I present Mr. Matthew Mall?
My pleasure, Mr. Mole.
Will you be seated?
Father?
Do as he asks.
Very well.
Now, I ask you to fix your eyes on mine. From the moment that gentle girl raised her eyes, she was ours, mine. It was enough, perhaps, that already the Malls had the reputation that they could enter people's dreams and that no grave could hold them. By now, there was a further belief that they could mesmerize the unwary. There is your daughter, Mr. Pynchon. Speak to her.
Alice! Alice, answer me!
Oh, softly, Mr. Pynchon. Is it my crime you have sold your daughter for the hope of getting back a sheet of yellow parchment?
What would you do with her?
Why, only as you asked. Use her as a medium to try to make you rich.
How?
You'll see. Unless you wish to call our barter deal off.
No. But proceed in God's name.
Very well. Listen to me, Alice Pynchon. Listen with your mind. Cast off your body. Think. Think back away through the years, but cling to me. Let him who holds the secret of the Indian land deeds come forth peaceably and without delay. Call him.
I know not who he is.
Then ask.
Colonel Pynchon? Great-grandfather? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Call call on my grandfather, whom your great-grandfather hanged.
Matthew Moore? Matthew Moore? Are you there? Speak.
I hear you in the grave, Miss Pynchon. Oh, what rare sport to watch your father Gervais shivering in mortal dread, and you, my fine lady, no more responsible for your actions than a puppet. And my grandson speaking words and using powers only I could confer on him. But the secret? The secret I am not yet ready to divulge.
Enough! Enough! Would you kill the child? Bring her to.
Without your answer?
Have you not found it?
Only this. Your grandfather's secret is one he must choke with until it is of no further value. So, keep the House of Seven Gables.
Wake my daughter from her trance.
As far as I can.
What mean you?
Well, she will walk and live and breathe. But
what, man?
I meant no harm. I meant only to humble you and yours. I did not mean to steal her soul, but I'm afraid that is lost. The years rolled by, and generation by generation, I took my toll on the Pynchon brood. The once proud family dwindled and thinned out. I have had little need to move my rusty bones or decaying flesh, since they have wrought their own destruction, save till now. But in this century, I must arise again.
Cousin Hepzibah.
Geoffrey Pynchon, what brings you to Seven Gables?
Why, I take it since you have opened a 1-cent store, it is open to any member of the public?
Not to you. Never to you. Judge.
Judge not, that ye shall be judged. Well, surely after all these years, and in respect of what I've just arranged for Clifford...
You are not welcome in this house.
Not even in a public shop, Hepzibah Pynchon.
The shop is a necessity, now more than ever.
Because of Clifford's return? Or surely you know if you're in need you can call on me? Or bring your brother and yourself to live on my estate?
Oh, you know I will take no charity from you, now or ever. How dare you offer it after what you've done to Clifford?
I?
Yes, you hate him. For what reason, I know not. But hate him you do.
You do me wrong, sweet cousin. But I am a forbearing man. I bear what crosses God sends me to bear. I will not trouble you more now, but wait for Clifford's return.
4 Pynchons are left. Nearsighted, angular, tall Hepzibah in her rusty black. The smiling, fat, oily Judge Geoffrey Pynchon, who so closely resembles the portrait of that black-hearted colonel who hangs in the massive gold frame in the living room, and who hanged me by the living neck. 2 yet. We are still to meet.
Bless my soul, the omnibus. And stopping before my shop door. It can't be Clifford yet. No. Then who is it?
Cousin Hepzibah. Cousin Hepzibah. Well, don't you know me?
Cousin? Oh, no Pynchon ever looked as lovely as you, child.
Cousin Hepzibah, you flatter me, but you can't deny it. I am your country cousin. And my mother sends you her love and regards and hopes my visit to you will not put you out.
Your visit? You intend to stay?
Didn't you get my mother's letter?
No.
I don't understand about the letter.
Oh, it doesn't matter now. You're here. But, child, I don't see how you can stay.
Oh, I don't expect to be a guest. I mean to earn my bread. I can find plenty to do, cousin.
The garden and flowers and the chickens will keep me out in the open air, and I can't help in the shop. Please let me stay.
Well, you can stay at least the night. But in any case, the decision whether or not you remain at the House of Seven Gables is not up to me. Tomorrow, its master returns home. My brother Clifford, who is coming home at last.
I think I remember my mother and father mentioning him, but as though he were dead. Where has he been?
In prison.
Prison? Why?
For the murder of our uncle, the judge's father, Jeffrey Pynchon.
One other young and unsuspecting girl, Alice Pynchon, came to grief under the shadowed gables of this brooding old house. Is another to share the same fate? We'll find out when I return shortly with Act 2.
And now another story of the ball and chain as Kellogg's Special K presents Veronica and Jack.
Oh, Jeffrey, isn't this romantic? Out in a quiet lake at night with you rowing the boat.
Yes, Veronica, it's really neat.
Jeffrey, what was that?
Frogs.
Frogs that go bonk?
They're pretty weird frogs.
Oh, Jeffrey, you're such a card. You have a ball and chain, like the ones they use in those Special K commercials.
Yes, Veronica. It symbolizes my few pounds of extra weight. But I'm going to get rid of it.
How?
By exercising. You know, like rowing this boat and eating smart at every meal, starting with a Special K breakfast.
You mean a 1-ounce bowl of high-protein Special K, 4 ounces of skim milk, orange juice, and coffee?
Precisely. It's less than 240 calories, and it tastes delicious. It'll help me get rid of this ball and chain.
I'll help too, Jeff. After all, we're all in the same boat.
You have a ball and chain, too.
Your happy ending could begin with the Special K breakfast from Kellogg's.
The 74 Indy 500 is now history, and to no one's surprise, the winner was equipped with custom Monroe Racing shock absorbers. Naturally, because every single car in the race had custom Monroe Racing shocks. That makes Monroe's win record 21 of the last 22 Indy 500s. That's quite a performance, the kind you'd expect from Monroe. We're the #1 maker of replacement shock absorbers for your car, and we're the #1 choice on the track. At Monroe, we can't lose, and neither can you.
Just when you need it more than ever, you can find it more places than ever. That's Quaker State Motor Oil. Why do you need it more? Because if you're using your car less, that engine just isn't getting the exercise it needs. But Quaker State's quality protection is tailor-made to handle deposits that build up in an underworked engine. Now that you need it more, it's available more places. Nice to know.
Quaker State your car to keep it running young.
This is not my story, so let me quote from the man who first told it. The mysterious Clifford is about to return, and here is how he is foreshadowed in conversation between Miss Hepzibah Pynchon and the newly arrived Phoebe.
31 years ago, my uncle, master of this house, was found dead beneath the portrait of our ancestor, Colonel Pynchon. Death was accountable, the authorities decided, to a blow on the head. Since the desk in his private papers had been rifled, it was suspected that it was robbery and accidental murder committed to avoid discovery.
By Cousin Clifford?
Oh, I shall never believe that. Oh, you will see for yourself when he returns how gentle, sweet, unworldly. Oh, Clifford could never have been guilty.
I'm sure from that kindly face you showed me in the miniature he was wrongly judged.
No question of that. Just as I am sure that Cousin Jaffrey, why I cannot understand, was the one most instrumental in sending him there.
How could that be?
It was he who discovered Clifford by the rifle desk, our uncle lying on...
Oh, hush. Dear Cousin Hepzibah, think of the present and not on the past. Soon Cousin Clifford will be home again. But surely it grows very late if he is coming today.
Well, you'd best off to bed. Perhaps I should greet him alone. dear, how shall I manage?
May I help, Cousin Hepzibah?
Oh, I'm old thumbs when it comes to cookery. You see, I've lost whatever art I had all these years alone. And I wanted Clifford's first breakfast to be so tasty.
You have a fire going bright enough to chase the morning dusk. Since the oven is hot, would you like me to bake an Indian cake?
Oh, it was Clifford's favorite all those years ago.
Well, then bake it I shall. What else can I do?
Oh, the coffee. Real mocha, if you would grind it.
We'll make a breakfast fit for a king.
A tired, sad king, worn out by exile.
Is he not well?
You shall see for yourself soon enough, dear Phoebe. Oh, hush, he's coming. Let him see you first, Phoebe. He likes bright faces, and mine is old, set in a scowl. Clifford, dear, let me help you.
The weakness is locked inside, Hepzibah. Nothing you or anyone can help. But we are not alone.
No, he is Phoebe. Phoebe, Arthur's only child. You remember I told you about her last night.
Phoebe Pynchon. Phoebe. Arthur's child. Yes, I forget. You are welcome.
Thank you, Cousin Clifford.
Oh, come sit here. Take this chair.
Is this you, Hepzibah? How changed. How changed. And are you angry with me?
Oh, why should I be angry?
And why do you bend your brows so?
Oh, Clifford, there is nothing but love here. If I scowl, it is only habit that has gone before.
Cousin Hepzibah's only worried and concerned that you should be happy.
Then why do we keep that odious picture on the wall? Why can't we... What is that sound?
Why, that is... Phoebe, will you answer it?
Of course.
That is the tinkle of the shop bell.
Shop bell?
Yes, sir.
Then, has Miss Hepzibah's shop opened under such favorable circumstances that she needs an assistant as attractive as you?
I'm a cousin of hers, on a visit from the country.
Well, in that case, I suspect you are a kinsman of mine. Let's see, oh, yes, little Phoebe Pynchon. I am your kinsman, Judge Pynchon, my little niece. Oh, surely I must pay you welcome. Oh, you resist me.
I had not meant to.
Oh, quite right, quite right. A young girl, especially a very pretty one, cannot but be chary of her lips.
I did not mean to be unkind.
Oh, I accept that. But are you afraid of something?
Nothing I know of.
I'll just step in and...
What do you want, Geoffrey?
Why, simply a short visit with my...
No. He cannot see visitors.
I warned you to take care. Clifford is on the brink of a blacker fate than yet possessed him. I need to see him.
No, Hepzibah. Don't let him in. Beg him on your knees if you must. Ask him to have mercy. Mercy.
You heard.
I heard. But must I... You will not let me see him.
I want to protect him.
As you will. But you do me great wrong, cousin. I only wish to help him. I will find some other way.
He seemed kind. Is his offer of help so wicked?
Phoebe, he has a heart of iron. Oh, let me go back to rejoin my poor brother at breakfast. Of all of us, he's the one who most needs protection now.
Don't do it, lady.
What?
Drink from that. Or even wash your face.
I was only looking at my reflection in it. May I ask who you are, sir?
Oh, forgive me. Miss Pynchon has not mentioned me.
Mr. Holgrave, the boarder.
The same, at your service. And you must be Miss Phoebe. Which gable is yours?
Oh, my window is the one... Perhaps it is more seemly to ask the question of you, sir.
By all means. I count mine the 7th, since it is by all odds the most remote and separate. See, up yonder, beyond the eaves.
You live there all alone?
A question hard to answer, Miss Phoebe.
Why?
In the House of the Seven Gables, is anyone truly alone? It's hard to tell whether the rats outnumber the ghosts, or vice versa.
Then why pick it as a lodging by free will?
If you must know, I can afford little, and the rent suits my purse. The house also suits my profession.
Your profession?
I'm a maker of daguerreotypes.
How fascinating. Can you really point a machine at someone and make a likeness of them?
I can. You doubt it?
Why, it sounds like a kind of magic to me.
Technically, in its way. But the result is a quite faithful reproduction of the subject. For example, this.
Oh, you created this?
I recreated this, shall we say.
It is a likeness.
Never mind the likeness. Miss Phoebe, look deeper. What kind of man is this?
Why, by all effects, a man of probity, of kindness, of property.
Is the picture that alone? Or can one look deeper?
Not knowing the subject, I don't see how.
Look at that eye. In the midst of a sunny countenance, speaking of an open heart. And yet, observe carefully the cast in the eye, the line of jaw, the subtle twist of mouth. Here is the man, the true man, sly, subtle, imperious, hard, and withal as cold as ice. Do you recognize him now?
Judge Pynchon. Still, there's some other resemblance.
The daguerreotype is of the living judge. The resemblance is quite marked. Give or take the style of whisker, the fashion of cloth, the bloat of jowl, it could be the original Colonel Pynchon who choked on his own blood.
Why have you this picture?
For the same reason, I wish to have all the Pynchon clan. Miss Phoebe, will you sit for me sometime?
All right.
In any history, one must balance the good against the bad.
Who are you?
A recorder of history by choice. Miss Hepzibah's lodger by chance. Will you sit for my portrait of you?
To what end?
That is beyond my power to say at this moment. Only that I can promise you, you are safe from any harm.
And what do I get out of it?
Well, first, what you put into it. Second, a record of your beauty. And third...
And third?
No less than your future. One way or another.
Then how can I refuse?
My object was to make sure, as best I could, that you shouldn't. Once I was resting more secure in my rotting grave. The urge to wander grasped me less. The Pynchon dynasty was a sorry lot at best, save one. And a new dynamic force was guiding my course to its resolution. It was time to start to pull my winding sheet more closely about me and begin to leave the future to itself. But not yet. The curse was not yet played out.
The mysterious Mr. Holdgrave. Who is he? What threat does he pose to Phoebe? Perhaps the only breath of sanity to blow sweetly through the dusty corridors and winding staircases of both the Pynchon history and the house that encloses the living, as tight and inescapable as the coffin in the grave. We'll return shortly with Act 3.
You don't see many people putting salt in their beer nowadays. Not that there's anything wrong with salt on radishes or French fries, but man, not in the king of beers.
truth is, the only thing salt can do for Budweiser is make it salty. An unwise thing to do to the only beer in America that's Beechwood aged. Unsalted Budweiser has become the most popular beer in the world. That's because in brewing Bud, the Budweiser brewmaster goes all the way for a taste, a smoothness, a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. And something else you can take without a grain of salt. The fact that when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
If you're serious about taking care of your lawn and garden, you're in for a lot of hard work. After all, it's nature itself you're trying to control. Hi, Frank Lieber here for True Value Hardware Stores. If there are ways around that work, well, you find them there. For instance, they have a Black & Decker power shrub and hedge trimmer with 13-inch double-edged blades. It trims on both back and forward strokes. It has 2 handles for balance control, and it's double insulated for electrical safety. Just $17.99. Another Black & Decker you'll find at True Value Hardware Stores is a deluxe lawn edger trimmer. The controls are up on top of the stand-up handle. The 8-inch blade cuts a 3/4-inch deep trench. It converts quickly into a trimmer, just $39.99. These Black & Decker tools give you 2 ways to get around hard work in the yard. And they're just a couple of the values that you'll find at the True Value Hardware Store nearest your home. Check the yellow pages.
For 2 centuries, the curse of the hanged wizard Matthew Mall has hung like a cloud over the house of the Seven Gables. The dark, deteriorating, rat-infested, and ghost-ridden house has outlived its time. Only the family, to which it belongs, hangs on to some distant remnant of the past.
There, Cousin Clifford. Safe in your little eyrie and retreat.
I trust you, Phoebe, to find me this spot in my private gable. While from here I can see all the world.
The bustle of our little town, certainly.
How free I feel after all those years. I have the wildest impulse.
What, Cousin Clifford?
Are you too young, perhaps, to remember when we blew soap bubbles? A glass of soapy water.
And a clay pipe.
Yeah, the pipe I still have.
Well, the soapy water I can provide.
But the lost years, where can they be found again?
I wish his life were more than a shadowed gable overlooking the street.
My Cousin Hepzibah, to watch the whole stream of life flow by is at least an introduction to the thought of returning to it.
Oh, well, perhaps you're right. Here's your soapy water. Take it to him to blow bubbles.
My window on the world, Phoebe.
The best vantage point in town.
You picked it for me. And without your support and love and interest, I suppose I should have just let the world go by.
Well, you can't do that if it's passing right by your feet.
Dear little Phoebe, you almost make me human again. That band coming by, open the windows so that the sound can rumble into this lost, dark room. I scarcely know. I get infected with strange madness. Like when I blew the soap bubbles in one burst on Jeffrey's head. Perhaps I should never get too close to life.
What do you mean?
You know the feeling when you're on a height. It's exciting, exhilarating, until you look down. This wild compulsion to throw yourself, to dash yourself to the ground.
But Cousin Clifford, everyone does it.
Say that everyone doesn't do it.
Christmas.
Save me. I cannot put myself myself.
No, stop.
Let me go.
No.
I can't help myself.
But I can. Cousin Epsiba! Cousin Epsiba!
You can't stop me. Nothing can stop me.
Help! Help him, please! Stop him!
Good morning, Miss Phoebe.
Mr. Holgrave, how can I thank you?
For what?
For answering to my cry? For helping me hold back my cousin Clifford?
It's only fortunate that I was nearby.
I don't know how to explain.
Why should any of us try to explain the human effort, drive, psyche? We all react to our impulses and dreams to a greater or lesser degree. Did your cousin really want to jump?
I was with him. I could scarce hold him. Why would he pretend?
Why, indeed. At least there was no disaster. I'm glad I was part of avoiding that.
I can never thank you enough. How can I do something in return?
Sit for me. Let me make a daguerreotype of you.
That's simple enough. But why?
I wish I felt myself free to answer that completely, but, well, at least one obvious reason. There should be some permanent record of your beauty.
I'm afraid you overstate your case. Or my case. So I must admit that even if you had not half admitted it, I would suspect you of some ulterior purpose.
You never have quite trusted me, have you?
It's just that I sense you are not quite what you seem to be. I don't know what I feel. What do you want my image for?
Say that I want a record of the Pinson family.
And that alone?
No. My other purpose, I must keep to myself.
I could refuse.
I hope you won't.
It would be ungracious of me. I offered to do something in return for helping save Cousin Clifford's life. When?
The sooner the better. There is a skylight in my gable room. The afternoon light would be perfect. If you'll meet me there at 5, I'll be ready for you. I never thought to see the day I would harbor any kindly thoughts for any Pincham. But I find I have it in my heart to accept poor, withered Hepzibah and the half-mad Clifford. And as for Phoebe, well, she shall have an unseen protector observing from beyond the skylight window. There now, Miss Phoebe, we're ready to begin.
Should we not have the door open and the windows unshuttered?
No. I want no other light source than what strikes across my shoulder to you from above. And we must catch it now. All right, are you ready?
What must I do?
Well, lift your eyes to mine, above the lens. So, now, relax. Think of something soothing. Blue sky. The ripples on a sunlit pond. Oh, yes. Yes, that's lovely. Don't try to smile. Just stay in repose. When I expose the plate, you must not move for 20 to 30 seconds. Now, take a deep, slow breath and hold it. Now the plate is exposed. Silvered copper on which a film of silvered iodide has been formed by iodine vapor. The sands are dropping through my minute glass. And slowly, your image develops on the plate. This 1/2 minute, I hold you mesmerized, only to make you immortal, never to be forgotten, to last till the end of time. Now you may relax. It's all over. Phoebe? I've mesmerized her. Phoebe! Oh, God help me to resist my evil desire. Phoebe! Forgive me if now I say what I have not dared to say to you, nor ever will, perhaps, so long as you are a Pinchon. Phoebe, I love you. Love you with all my heart. Have loved you since that first moment I saw you in the garden. I cannot dare to hope when all is known that you could return that love. Yet here, at this moment, with you completely in my power, I could cast a spell on you that would hold you forever mine. rather that you were never mine than to hold you bound to me against your will. Phoebe Pynchon, can you hear me?
I hear you.
You are safe. You know that.
Safe.
You will have no memory of the trance you are in now.
No memory.
And when you wake, you will feel refreshed and your same lovely self. You promise me?
I promise.
Then, when I snap my fingers, wake.
Oh. Is my portrait all finished?
Yes, Phoebe.
May I see it?
Oh, no. I have much to do before that. This one, I want to color. I would not have you see it in black and white.
Oh, then I shall have to wait to look at it till I return.
Return?
I must go home to visit my mother and father and bring back the rest of my clothes.
You intend to stay on at Seven Gables, then?
Cousin Clifford needs me. And Cousin Hepzibah. I think it is my duty.
To wither and dry up like them? Before God, I pray you find some better fate. Some better fate indeed. Back in my grave, my bones are ready to settle to eternal sleep, and the curse is ready to be wound up. And the day after Phoebe left became the beginning of the end. Look at him, striding along the street toward the 1-cent shop, the picture of the man who owns most of the world and who intends to clutch the rest of it to him. The 200-year reincarnation of the Pynchon who put me 6 feet under. Judge Jaffrey Pynchon.
Judge Pynchon. Yes, Cousin Hepzibah, the same.
What do you want?
Well, what else, cousin, but to have done with all this? I want to see Clifford.
No.
It is my purpose to do so before I leave this house.
Haven't you done enough to him?
30 years ago, our uncle died. His immense fortune was left to me, save for your life interest in this property and the house of the Seven Gables.
To Clifford, not to me.
Some months before our mutual uncle's death, Clifford boasted to me that he knew the secret of incalculable wealth. I believe that at this moment, if Clifford retain his wits and, if he chooses, he can tell me where the riches can be found if he chooses.
And if he can't, or doesn't?
Back to the dungeon. I'll await your bringing him in here in the old colonel's chair. It should in any case have been mine by right.
Oh, I wish you ill of it, but I shall go find Clifford.
So come the years full circle. Revenge is as dusty in my mouth as these old bones which moldering cry for eternal rest. Only one more remains who deserves his fate, the same one that overwhelmed his liverish ancestor, who still pouts like a peacock in the frame of the portrait behind the judge's head. God give him blood to drink.
No. My watch. Whip. I have appointments to keep, important things to do. I can't.
Drink deep and die, and dies the curse with you. I found him here, Phoebe. Dead of apoplexy, the last of his line.
But Hepzibah and Cousin Clifford...
They inherit the judge's country estate. Bright with sunlight, with no dark gables to hem them in. I've already moved them there.
I'm so bewildered. What shall I do now?
Phoebe, I have an offer.
What?
Well, first, let me reveal who I am and what I know. A 2-century-old secret guarded to prove that might is not always right. Look, The curlicue pattern around the portrait. So many bits of detail, and only one that holds the power to open the vault where the ancient document lies behind the portrait. All that blood for a piece of parchment, clothed in the dust of 200 years and not worth even the paper it's written on. A sad and silly secret handed down to me.
But who are you?
Like you, the last of the Pynchons, I am the last of the Mauls. Matthew Maul. And with the end of the family curse, I feel reborn. Or will if...
If what? Matthew?
Shall we end it all? Will you marry me, Phoebe, whom I love beyond all, and put an end for good to family feuds and tragic doom?
Oh, yes, Matthew. Yes. On one condition.
You have only to ask.
That we leave and shut up forever the House of the Seven Gables.
For several years, the house still stood. There were those who, passing it after dark, swore they could hear the tinkle of the harpsichord Alice Pynchon once used to play, the sound of the 1-cent shop bell, the cough of a man choking. But in a very few years, this had little of flesh or blood left in it, like all legends about haunted houses. This one's only special claim to fame was that it had, if you counted them, 7 gables. I'll be back shortly.
I want that sinus medicine.
Headache tablets?
No, sinus medicine. Sinus tablets. Helps the headache and the pressure.
Oh, you mean sign-off.
Exactly.
Headache pain is one thing. A sinus headache is something else. Sometimes your whole face can seem to throb with pain. You want relief. Take Sign-Off tablets. Sineoff, the sinus medicine that gives you a full dose of pure aspirin, plus a sinus drainer. Sign-Off, the sinus medicine that helps relieve sinus pain while you drain. And Sign-Off doesn't stop there. Have you tried Sign-Off Sinus Spray, the fastest known form of sinus congestion relief? It works in seconds. That's Sign-Off Sinus Spray. When sinus flares up, use Sign-Off tablets and spray only as directed.
Sineoff.
Sign-Off.
Exactly.
Sign-Off, the sinus medicines in the bright red box.
You've been hearing some pretty lavish claims recently about miles per gallon. We'd like you to consider something equally important, and that's range. Range is the miles per gallon multiplied by the number of gallons your car's tank holds. Range is what makes the Buick Apollo such a special small car. It comes from coupling the Apollo's economical 6-cylinder engine with a standard 21-gallon tank. It holds a lot, but it doesn't use a lot. Look into the Apollo. It's the Buick of small cars.
Oh, sure. You can talk about good-tasting diet drinks, but I know. I'm Goldilocks, and here at my taste-testing laboratory, I taste-test them all. And nobody's been drinking my diet drinks until I tested sugar-free Diet 7-Up. And then, kabloomy! Every bear wanted some. Diet 7-Up is fresh, natural, delicious. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up. This one's just right.
It should come as no surprise that Judge Jaffrey Pynchon was the one who really murdered his uncle. To have made Gentle Clifford the scapegoat was reason enough for Matthew Maul to reach that powerful hand once more from the grave and exact what so seldom happens to the villains of this world, due retribution. Our cast included Norman Rose, Arnold Moss, Bryna Rayburn, Jada Rowland, and Stats Cotsworth. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division, the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg Special K cereal, and new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Now it is time to go back to Dodge City with Gunsmoke.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on west, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad, the story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
Mr. Dillon, you reckon this cussed town will ever amount to anything?
Dodge City? I don't know, Chester. It might. Why?
Well, when I look around with the way things are here, I sure do wonder sometimes.
Well, all it needs is a better climate, good water supply, and a few decent people.
Texas would be a good place if they had all that.
Then maybe they'll both amount to something someday.
Well,
Matt.
maybe they... Miss Kitty looks kindly upset about something.
Matt, wait a minute.
Oh, what's the matter, Kitty?
Oh, nothing with me. The fellow over there in the long bench.
Oh, causing trouble?
Not exactly, but there's something wrong. I know there is. He's got a woman with him. His wife, he says.
Men don't bring their wives into saloons, Kitty.
Yeah, I know, but it's more than that. He says she's Indian, but I don't think she is. And she's scared, Matt. She's scared to death.
Scared of what?
Oh, of him, I think. He's a big brute, and mean as sin, and twice as ugly.
Well, if he's mistreating her, what...
Well, he hasn't hit her yet, but he keeps threatening to. Oh, Matt, there they are. They're leaving.
Yeah, they're coming this way.
My gracious, he sure is big and mean looking. But he must weigh close to 280 pounds.
Hey, mister. I'd like to talk to you.
About what?
My name is Dillon. I'm a U.S. Marshal here. You new in town?
I've been here 3 days, if that's new.
What's your name?
Taggart. Bull Taggart, they call me.
Uh-huh. Is this lady your wife?
Is that any business of yours, Marshal?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Do you speak English, ma'am?
Pues sí, senor. A little bit.
Shut up.
Why don't you want her to talk, Bull?
Because she's a born liar, that's why, like all Indians.
There are not many Indians in this part of the country who speak Spanish.
She ain't from around here. She's from down in the border country. The Mexicans taught her in mission school.
Is that right, ma'am?
Senora.
I warned you, didn't I? You know what'll happen if you start lying.
Please, no.
All right, go ahead. Answer the marshal.
It's true, senor. I learned in mission school.
Well, are you this man's wife?
I am his wife.
You satisfied, Marshal?
Are you staying, Bo?
We got a wagon. We're camped in the river bottom at the south edge of town. I'm aiming to kill me some buffalo. Anything else you want to know, Marshal?
Not right now, no.
Well, the way I feel about lawmen, they leave me alone, I leave them alone. How's that set with you?
I'll be seeing you around, Bo.
I'll be around. Come on, you.
Well, that girl ain't no Indian, Mr. Dillon.
No, she's a Mexican, Chester. Or Spanish, maybe.
What do you think, Matt? What's it all about?
I don't know, Kitty. I'm going to try to find out. Hi, Doc. You busy?
Oh, no, Matt. Come on in.
Oh, what the devil is that thing?
Now, don't show your ignorance, Matt. It's the latest scientific gadget in back east medicine. It's called an electrostatic therapy machine.
It is, huh? Oh, what's it supposed to do?
Oh, what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to rejuvenate the nerves, improve the digestion, build red blood, and regenerate the tissues. Oh, wait a minute. I'll show you here. Just kind of take hold of the handles there, Matt. Now, I'll just crank the... Yeah, right there. I'll just crank the accumulators a little bit. There, now. You ready, man?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Makes you tingle, doesn't it?
Make me tingle. Makes me want to break your foolish neck.
Well, now, Matt, it's good for you. It says so in all the journals.
Yeah? Anything to make living more complicated, huh?
Oh, so you haven't seen anything yet, Matt. Why, in the next 60 or 80 years, there's going to be so many changes in human living, you wouldn't even recognize it.
Maybe I wouldn't want to recognize it, Doc.
Well, you can't drag your feet, Matt. You've got to move with the times.
I'm not sure that I want to go around letting people with practical joking machines half kill me.
Oh, no, you're not hurt a bit. I've been fooling with it ever since I unpacked it. Using it on myself, even.
Yeah?
And each time I feel better than I did before.
Well, good. Then you grab a hold of the handles, and I'll turn the crank.
Dillon?
Yeah, what is it, Chester?
I'm sorry to bother you, but... Hey, Doc, what in the world is
What do
that?
you want, Chester?
Oh, this fellow's looking for you. I think he says it's pretty important.
Oh? Well, come on in, mister.
Habla español, senor?
No, I'm afraid not, except for a few words.
Then you must excuse my English, senor, which is not so much best.
Well, neither's mine, but what can I do for you?
I have the honor of being Don Marco Velasquez, senor.
Oh, I'm glad to know you, Don Marco. This is Doc Adams.
The most pleasure, senor.
How do you do?
Oh, Chester, leave that thing alone.
Marshal Dillon, you are the big law, is not correct?
Well, I am here in Dodge, I guess, yeah.
Then I must talk with you in private.
Well, go down to my office, I guess.
Muy bien.
Come on, Chester. Here we are, Don Marco. And here. Now, what's this all about?
This is one big matter for law, which I'm here. Also, it's very delicate thing. How you say is affair of honor. You understand?
Well, I'm not sure I do. What is it exactly?
It's my wife, Senor Maria. She has disappeared.
Disappeared?
I am come a long way from Chihuahua, in Mexico.
Mexico?
I have one hacienda there. That is where from she disappeared 3 weeks ago. And all this time I'm follow. Here at your town, I'm only arrived 1 hour ago.
I see.
Always I am talk with people asking questions. And I am think she is here in this town, senor.
Oh, what does your wife look like, Don Marco?
She's small, like the little bird. With hair so soft, eyes black as night. She's young, senor. Most beautiful.
She speak English?
You see, like me, but not so good. You are seeing her now?
Tell me something, Don Marco. Did she leave you of her own free will? I mean, run away?
She has not run away, senor. She has been stolen by one pig who have come to the hacienda when I am away. Senor Bull, he is called. And when I have found him, it's like the bull, he will die.
Bull, huh?
You know where is this bull?
Well, he was right out. Yeah, I might, Don Marco. Look, suppose you take a room over at the Dodge House and let me look into it.
You are not understand, senor. This is one affair of honor.
Don Marco, this fellow you're looking for is about as tough as they come. He wears a gun, and he probably knows how to use it. Now, that knife of yours wouldn't quite even things up.
I have one pistola when I start out, but in one town more far to south, the police are take it away. They say I am not citizen, and it is law I no can have gun. Is true law, senor?
Not here in Dodge, no.
One thing other. I have here is your law when one man try to kill you, is all right, you shoot him. Is true?
Oh, yeah, we look at it that way. The law of self-defense.
Law of self-defense. Muy bien. Then I'm go buy one pistol.
Well, now, wait a minute. Look, you wouldn't have a chance against Bull Taggart.
I'm sorry, senor. It's a matter of honor. Muchas gracias, senores. Adios.
Come on, Chester. Let's go get Bull Taggart before that crazy man of honor finds him and gets himself shot full of holes. Kitty.
Oh, hello, Matt. Chester.
Oh, Miss Kitty.
I didn't see you come in.
Kitty, have you seen Bull Taggart?
Well, he was here a minute ago. Yeah, there he is, down at the end of the bar.
Oh, good.
You look pretty serious, man.
Well, that hunch of yours was right, Kitty. I think he grabbed that girl down in Mexico and brought her up here by force. Her husband trailed him.
I knew there was something wrong.
Have you seen her?
No, he came in alone. And he's been drinking pretty steady, Matt. You better be careful.
I intend to. Come on, Chester. There's too big a crowd here to risk any shooting, Chester. I'll step up behind him and take his gun, and you stay clear.
Gotta get up before daylight. I'll be on my feet after all of you are dead and buried. Yes, sir. What do you think you'll do?
Here, hold this gun, Chester.
Yes, sir.
What's the big idea, Marshal?
Where's Maria Velasquez, Bull?
So she finally talked, did she? I'd have known better to leave her alone, tied up or not.
So she's out at the wagon, huh?
You ain't been out there.
No, but I'm gone as soon as I lock you up.
I warned you, Marshal. You leave me alone, I leave you alone.
You're under arrest, Bull.
Oh, no, Marshal. Not yet, I ain't.
Chester, throw some water on him.
Yes, sir.
You all right, Matt?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Senor Marshal.
Oh, you, Don Marco.
This is it, no? It's the pig which I have been looking for?
Yeah, that's Bull Taggart. He tried to resist arrest. Now, Maria's at his wagons at south edge of town, right near the river trail.
So you are the first which find him after all, senor?
Well, it's better that way. You wouldn't be much good to Maria shot down on the street.
It's such a pity that I have not find him first.
Yeah. Well, Kitty.
Yeah, Matt.
Look, if you see Doc around anywhere, ask him to come by and take a look at this fella, huh?
Uh-huh.
I think he's all right, but I'm
Here,
not...
now, you quit that.
Hey, Don Marco.
Do not worry, senor. I have not
Here,
killed
give
him.
me that knife. Give it to me.
I only caught his cheek. MV, Marco Velasquez.
Well, Mr. Dillon, that's terrible.
It's the way we mark our pigs on my hacienda.
We do things different up here, Don Marco.
Oh, my gracious, what a heathen thing to do.
If you'll come along to jail and sign a complaint, we'll go with you to get Maria.
Un momento, senor. What is happened to this pig if I sign complaint?
Well, he'll go to prison for a long time.
And if I do not sign?
In that case, I'd have to turn him loose in the morning. I got no other charge against him.
Muchas gracias, senor. I will no sign complaint.
Now, wait a minute. Maria may figure different.
She will think as I do.
Well, how do you know she will?
Because I am the man, senor. You were pleased to tell this pig who have the scratches. It is a matter of honor. I will no more trouble you.
All right, I'll hold him until 9 o'clock in the morning to give you a head start out of town.
Muchas gracias. Y muy buenas noches, señores.
You must be crazy, Matt.
I don't know, Kitty.
Well, he sure has got a crazy kind of honor. Cutting them initials and all. Why, he's got to be crazy.
Maybe. But I'm not too sure.
About time, Marshal. When do I get breakfast?
Whenever you walk up the street and buy it. Now, come on out of there, Boo.
What do you mean? You turning me loose?
Velasquez refused to file charges. Come on into the office.
Well, what do you know about that? So the little runt didn't have the nerve, huh? Hey, how did I get these cuts on my cheek?
Velasquez did it with a knife point while you were knocked out.
Yeah, that sneaky little rabbit. I reckon I done more to him than he done to me. Huh?
Chester, have you got his stuff there?
Yes, sir. You want to give him back his gun?
Yeah, everything. All right, hurry up, Bull. Pick it up and get out of here.
Mighty nice of you fellas to take care of these things for me.
Bull, you got 20 minutes to get out of town. You get out and you stay out.
Sure, Marshal. I don't like Dodge much anyhow, now that my little friend ain't here. Well, see you around, boys.
Mr. Dillon, there's the low-downest, meanest man I ever seen in all my born days.
Yeah?
Swear he ought to be. Mr. Dillon, look.
What?
That wagon coming down the street. What's that Velasquez fella?
What? I thought they headed south last night. Come on, Chester. Just hope Bull Taggart hasn't seen him yet.
There he is, across the street. Maria, go to the marshal.
Senor Marshal, protect me, please. I'm so
Hola,
frightened.
Senor Bull.
What? Wait a minute, Don Marco.
I have the honor to be Marco Velasquez, senor. And you are my pig.
Oh, that crazy fool.
Senor, I'm so
My
frightened.
mark is on your face, senor. Come here, my great pig. I wish to tie you on my wagon.
Why, you dirty...
Let go.
No, Senor Marshal.
This pig
Let
has
go,
a
Maria.
gun.
Let go. Let go.
It's too bad, senor Marshal, but I think the pig is dead.
Muchas gracias, Senor Marshal. Oh, protect me.
Was law of self-defense, senor. No, it's true.
Now, that's why you wouldn't file charges, huh? You wanted to get him out in the street with a gun in his hand.
Oh, no, senor. It was only because I'm one very forgivable man.
And you had Maria hang onto my arm so I couldn't interfere, huh?
Oh, no, Senor. I was very frightened. I have not known what I'm doing.
Oh, sure.
It's all right. We start for home now, senor Marshal?
Well, he drew and fired first. I guess I got no reason to hold you.
Muchas gracias, senor. It's very good that you have this law of self-defense. Con mi pajarita.
Sí, Marco. Hasta la vista, Senor Marshal.
Yeah. So long, Maria.
Ahora vamos a casa.
Sí, mi querido.
Pues adiós, amigos.
Adiós.
Oh, I declare if that don't beat all.
Yeah. Well, Chester.
Yes, sir?
Suppose we walk up the street and buy us some breakfast.
Originally, dark horse was a racing term for a horse whose abilities were kept in the dark until displayed in the race. Race.
Gunsmoke. Produced and directed by Norman McDonald. Stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Featured in the cast were Parley Bear as Chester, Howard McNear as Doc, and Georgia Ellis as Kitty. George Walsh speaking. Join us again next week for another specially transcribed story on Gunsmoke. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.